Hey everyone, and welcome to the All Elite Zone podcast on YouTube and Twitch. We're here, for AEW Dynamite live reaction, but we're here for a special interview with ROH star. He wrestled everywhere around the world. Tony Deppen. He's been in a lot of great technical matches or pure matches, I guess. But he's been all across the world. It's great having you on, Tony. As you guys know, this was supposed to be Lady Frost, but her name's Lady Frost, and the weather's bad, so what a coincidence. But thank you, Tony, for taking the time to do this again. I guess I'll go, and then Adam, Lane. So my first question is, how did you get into wrestling? Like, this is probably a very simple question first off the bat, but how did you get into wrestling?
So let's see here. I've been watching wrestling since I may have been watching wrestling a little bit earlier, but my earliest recollection was probably like 91 because I was 3 years old and my dad would take me to shows when WWF would run legit high school gymnasiums, like before they started being what they are now. So my dad took me to the local high school. We saw that show. I really don't remember much other than Jim Duggan was leaving the building and we were driving and he was in the middle of the road and my brother honked the horn at him and Jim Duggan shot like the nastiest stare ever. So but that's like the earliest time memory I had wrestling. Then over time,
what?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, it was something like this. That's like the only thing I remember from the show at all. I don't know why it's the only thing, but I just pictured Duggan's face shooting back that stare. So, but other than that, like a lot of it was just watching wrestling over time and, growing up because I'm a product of the Attitude Era where everyone and anyone was watching wrestling. Like you'd go into high school or you go into the elementary class the next day and everyone's like, yo, did you watch Raw last night? And if you didn't, you were like, wow, what a dork.
Yeah, so I actually grew
up. That's a different time for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tony, you and I actually grew up watching the same era of wrestling, actually, because I grew up watching the Attitude Era as well, and I actually got to meet Jim Duggan at one point. He's the nicest guy
I
ever meet. Yeah,
very nice guy. Maybe it's just an off night. I don't know, but just he wasn't too thrilled.
Now, Tony, getting into that was your first experience wrestling. Growing up, like, were you in athletics? Did you do sports? And if you did, what sports did you take part in?
So I was heavily involved in the sports. I was the type of person that I would do football in the fall. I would do wrestling, and I did wrestling and basketball in the winter. And then I did baseball in the spring. Like growing up, I was constantly involved in sports. I wasn't it's not like my parents came from a crazy sports or athletic background. It's just something I've always enjoyed doing. And I signed up just because I've always liked to be active. It's still to this day, I'm going to be 35 and I can't find myself to sit around constantly. So but wrestling, because I liked wrestling more than I like basketball and football. I like baseball the best though, but that's another story. But I just enjoyed wrestling a lot and I stuck with it until I got to about middle school. And then I got into a weird don't care punk rock attitude lifestyle where I wouldn't play sports because I thought it was, that's what jocks do and nerd and like dorks do. And then when I was graduating high school, I was like, damn, I wish I would have wrestled longer.
Lane, you can go now.
Lane might be
frozen. Then I'll just ask. Obviously, you've wrestled.
Yeah, just 1 second. My internet's acting up again, apparently.
You've wrestled a multitude of companies.
Give me a second. Go ahead, Aiden. Go ahead. I'm going to restart my stuff real quick.
Oh, he's He's fighting for his life right now.
He looks like he's in a. Is it the one in the white? Is that his internet screwing up?
No, that's me.
Story and those suck.
No, but obviously you've wrestled at a multitude of companies: GCW, PWG, Rev Pro, ROH. Do you have a favorite, or you don't have to say if you don't want to, but like, what has been one of your better experiences with these companies?
Well, I could go down a list of all this. So obviously, I'm gonna have the best experience with GCW. I've actually been with them since day one. So like, there are only three or four of us left that are OGs still. And my favorite experience is just being able, like, I've traveled to almost. I'm at I think like 23 states with those people, and at like 4 different countries, and it's just wild that I remember wrestling with them in front of 40 people, and now we did Hammerstein. The Hammerstein show was fucking awful. Like, everything that went wrong just because it just had to, I guess. But I still remember wrestling in front of 45 people. And we went to a sold out Hammerstein show. Like, that first match, because I was part of the first match, and they're counting down to, like, they're like, hey, we're going live pay-per-view in like 5-10, and I'm pacing back and forth because they loaded us in the ring before the show started, and I'm just like looking at Alex Colon because he's almost an OG like I am, and I just like this crazy feeling go through my body. It's like, yo, this is fucking wild. Like, nothing will ever like compare to that again, to be honest, just because like Hammerstein like is such a big deal, and for an independent wrestling company to sell out that before we ever announced one match is surreal to me. And then it's just like the other companies like PWG. I'm going to be honest. I'll be 100% straightforward with a lot of people. My time with PWG was okay. And I'm not a fan of the way they go about things. And I'm not afraid to say it, that the way that they do business with certain people is a pain in the ass. Like, I couldn't do their last show that I was booked on because I screwed up my ankle and I couldn't walk. And I messaged the guy who was the owner, and I was like, hey, my ankle's completely fucked up. I can barely run, and I don't think I could deliver the type of match you want, and I don't want to water your product down. Never heard from him again. And that's that. And he did to somebody else because somebody could barely walk because they messed up their back.
He just straight up ghosted?
Yeah, he ghosts you if you can't make it because you got injured.
Wow, that's crazy to me.
Like, and I don't really give a shit if it gets out and people hear about that. Like, I think it should be noted that people,
out of your control.
Like, people don't care. Like, we're worried about our safety all the time. Like, most of us have outside lives of wrestling, and you're telling me that my body is like not worth like my own time to heal it. Like, you can go fuck yourself at that point.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I'm like now, like, don't like, and it's not directed at like, because I know everybody knows Excalibur's part of PWG at certain parts. It's not against him at all because I still have a great relationship with him. He's fucking fantastic. It's just some other people. I'm just like, dude, you know what? Just the way that you do business, I don't really care. Like, I don't need it. I get paid well elsewhere. I am not struggling for bookings, that's for sure. Like, and I'm not hurting for money, which is good too. So I'm just like, okay, like, but it was cool to do. It was like, I've been watching PWG since 2006, but other than that, it was a bucket list place at that point. And like Rev Pro, I had a blast. Andy, who runs Rev Pro, it takes care of me like crazy, and I love going over there. Minus the worst part is so they're not like random independents in the States. Like, they actually run almost throughout the week, every week they have a different show. And we would run, when I was over there, we did like a Friday, a Saturday, and like a Tuesday or something like that. And the one night after the show, it was me and Nick Mac. We were driving with Andy in this van. They went to this hotel, and we were all hungry, and nothing was open. And they're like, oh, there's a McDonald's down the street. Let's just go there. And we went there, and we rolled up. There's people getting food, and we're like, sweet, they're open. Let's go. We're trying to order food. Like, yeah, our systems just went down. You guys can't order anything. Like, the most miserable experience of being there was just because I couldn't eat.
Oh no!
so pissed. I was like, oh, I was like, threw it to a gas station. I got it like a bag of Doritos or something, and but I just have a blast working with them, and then, like the Ring of Honor stuff. I loved my time in Ring of Honor, and that's why I'm very happy that Tony still allows me to come in and do the Ring of Honor stuff if he, if he completely wants me there when they get everything running again. But I did the first show back, which was cool. So
Yeah, thank you for that insight. That was great.
yeah, I don't really like. I might piss somebody off with saying that, but I honestly couldn't give point because like they're not gonna book me at PWG anymore and again, so I don't really care. Like, plus I don't want to. I got my booking there. I did Bola. What else do I need? I don't want to win Bola. I don't want to do that tournament for the money he's going to pay me.
Yeah, that's very not safe, really. Like you eventually you have to care about a person's health and wrestling.
Yeah, some people
prefer...
wrestle. I get it. I completely get it. That is your prerogative. However, I have 2 kids. I have a wife, and I own a business. I'm not gonna break my ankle and then continue to wrestle on it just because, like, no, I gotta make sure that I make PWG happy. Like my health and well-being is way more important than any company, and I don't really care how anybody views that as.
Yeah, for me as a fan, I care about like even with the like Adam Cole, I cared about his health more than he ever stepped the foot in the ring again. But some promoters, well, I've never been to a PWG show, but from what you're saying, it's I can see like how like fast paced every match is, and want you to deliver a match like that.
Yeah, when you can barely walk, and my whole reason behind pulling out was like I don't want to make your product suck, because I know PWG is high standard, and that's all it was. And the fact that I didn't get a response to that and stuff like that, I was like, okay, dude. And then I found I was never gonna be used again. I was like, okay, cool, dude. Like if that's the games, then I don't need you because you don't need me. It's simple as that.
Lane, I believe you were you're next. Good
All
man.
right. Yeah, I think my internet's working fine now. Don't jinx it. So I have a question. So a lot of wrestlers and of course fans do this as well. But did you make a New Year's resolution worker list of people who you want to face this year?
I've never really done the list thing because like I'm not gonna say I'm out of sync with wrestling, that's for sure. But like I don't have my ear to the ground like I used to. Like I'd always know people and stuff like that. And I think I have more of just a bucket list of things. Like I remember making a bucket list for the Indies years ago, like 8 years ago. And there are a lot of just far-fetched ideas. I'm like, they'll never happen. And I recently found the book again, and I was just going through, and I realized I never even checked anything off because I made it and put the list away. And when I went through the list, I checked off almost every single. There's like one remaining. So like I've never really done like a year-to-year basis. Like I would love to wrestle certain people. I would love to wrestle Bryan Danielson, that's for sure, because I think he's fantastic. I've already wrestled Mox, but I'd love to wrestle Mox again. Takeshita, that'd be a lot of fun to wrestle with him. Obviously, everybody would love at the current moment because of what the news that just got dropped yesterday that Kota Ibushi is now free agent. So, because I remember in 2009 he came over to the United States for King of Trios in Shikara, and he had a match. It was him, El Generico. I want to say Matt Jackson and Jigsaw. I can't remember what Jackson it was. I want to say it was Matt Jackson. Maybe no, Nick. I don't remember. One of the Jacksons. I can't remember. But they had a 4-way Shikara King of Trios night 2. And I never saw or heard of Kota at the time. And I watched, and that match was the best match I've ever seen live. It was wild. The fans, like, I've never been at an indie show where the fans were reacting like that. And it, like, go watch it if you find it, or if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It was just such a great fucking match. So, like, if I would ever get to wrestle him, it'd be like, come full circle with me, because I just remember viewing that match and thinking, damn, like, that's what I want to do.
Is there any chance that could happen at spring break this year?
Listen, when I find out the matches that I have with GCW when you guys find out the matches. Unless like random, like I remember the one time I wrestled Ishimori.
Fair enough.
You want to wrestle Ishimori? It's like abso-fucking-lutely. Like, but other than that, like I never find out who I'm wrestling.
Do you prefer it that way with the surprise? You find out when the fans find out.
Yeah, I really like the element of surprise. Like I remember when I wrestled Mox, I never like because they're like, oh, Mox is coming in, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be so and so because like I never get these matches, and I was actually in England working with Rev Pro, and I got a tag like, oh, Tony versus John Mox. I was like, fuck, they're like, that's awesome. Like, I prefer the excitement. Like they did that with me when I wrestled Masato Tanaka as well a couple years ago, because I remember saying it's like, oh, I wonder who's gonna wrestle Masato Tanaka because and then Joey was like, oh, maybe you. I was like, yeah, whatever. And then months down the road, like, oh, Tony and Masato Tanaka. I was like, that's awesome. Because I'm a big ECW fan from back in the day. Like, I used to always watch it. Watching Masato Tanaka and Mike Austin kill each other was such a great experience for me.
Those chairs and table spots between those two in ECW days were some of my favorite, Tony. So
I was so mad because we did the spot where he hits me, or I hit him with a chair. He hits me with a chair. And I made sure that I swung that chair as hard as I fucking could. Because, like, I want it back. And he came back with a little love tap on me. And I was just like, fuck. And like, if I'm getting CT, I'm getting CT from that guy. I get in the back and like, I don't understand much Japanese, but Hikaru was like, oh, why not hit hard? He goes, oh, he's smaller. I don't want to hurt. And I went up to him, was like, with all due respect, it's like, that's your spot, man. Just cave my skull in. And I was mad. I wanted to take an awesome top rope through a table, but he's like, I have a really bad shoulder. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I was like, well, what if I stand on the top rope and like you come up behind me? He's just like, I'm sorry. That was just the mark in me coming out, and that's perfectly fine. It's okay to be a mark. I don't really give a fuck. Sadly, it didn't happen.
So my next question is, I believe the ROH brought the Pure Championship back in 2020, I believe, right during the pandemic. Every match was in front of no fans. I just got through watching that whole series when Honor Club just relaunched, and your match against Tracy Williams, wow, that was probably one of the best matches in that whole tournament for me, I guess.
So the Pure wasn't or me and Tracy was not part of the Pure. I did with PJ Matthews or PJ Black.
PJ Black.
I wrestled Hot Sauce for the TV title.
Yes, yeah, because I watched both of them today. But you went really far in that tournament. I
was first round.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think a lot of people think that just because the fact is that I did go on to win the TV title like that, like there was some push. Like, so there was in a way that I was eliminated first round with PJ.
Wow. Well, what was your thoughts on them bringing back the ROH Pure Championship and you being in the tournament?
So at first, like, I'll be 100% honest. When I started watching indie wrestling, I was more of a CZW, IWA Mid-South guy. I like the death matches, so I always like gravitate towards that. So a lot of the Ring of Honor stuff, I didn't really, watch much growing up until like later. So I wasn't like when the Pure title came, like I knew of it and stuff like that, and like I know the history behind it. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, like it's just a little notch in my belt there. Like it's like a nostalgic thing to do. And the fact that they asked me originally, so I was supposed to be in the first tour before the pandemic shut down the world. And they're like, oh, well, we're going to have you come in, blah, blah, blah. And like at the time, the guy who was doing the booking, I can't say his name because he's redacted at the current moment and for life. He's just like, we're going to bring you in and we'll probably have you signed by July. And I was like, this is awesome. I can't wait. Because I just quit my job not too long ago before that to pursue wrestling full time. And then pandemic shuts the world down. I was like, well, there goes my chance at Ring of Honor. And then the guy that booked me, he got canceled. Well, not canceled. He just got, held accountable for the bullshit that he was doing. So I was like, well, there goes my in. I'm completely fucked at the moment. So, and August rolled around and Delirious messages me because, everyone knows he's the booker now. And he's like, hey, do you still want to be part of the Pure tournament? I was like, hell yeah. I was like, this is awesome. And I went in and like, I thought the match was okay that I had with PJ. PJ wrestles on more TV style wrestling, and I love PJ. Great guy. He's just that's the style he likes wrestling. That's the first time he wrestled in a very long time as well. Like I was very fortunate because I was wrestling with GCW on outside shows, so I had ring time and I had my ring rust off comparative to everybody else. But I was like, okay, that was fun. I got eliminated first round, and then I did another match. It was me, like during that taping settings, it was like me, Wheeler, and Dak Draper. Yeah. Everybody was just like, oh, that was pretty good. And then they asked me back, and I was like, oh, that's a good sign. So, and then everything just kept like I just stayed there for so long, and then they closed.
Yeah.
So sticking with Ring of Honor, Tony, we're gonna go a sad route here. We lost probably one of the most influential tag team wrestlers, as well as influential in Ring of Honor, in Jay Briscoe, recently. And you being part of Ring of Honor, was there any point that you got to interact with the Briscoes or Jay in general with your time at Ring of Honor?
Oh, absolutely. When people say that, like when you hear a lot of people online say like that their personality and like they're very friendly to people, that was no bullshit. Like I at first when we did the Pure tournament, I didn't get to meet them because it was very strict on how we did the matches. Like we would do it like you would have a time slot for you to come and do your match. You would do the match and then they would bust you right back out. Like you weren't allowed to stay and watch matches. You were there for the duration of your match and that was it. So I didn't really get to see them. And then over time when, so I think maybe the first time I saw it, maybe when I did Final Battle that year, just the nicest people possible. And they'd all just talk to everybody, be super sincere, nice, great people. And then I won the TV title. And I think I was sitting there in the lobby talking to PCO. I believe that's who it was. And all of a sudden I hear like, oh yeah, congratulations, champ. And it's Jay. And like, that was the first time I had like a real interaction with him, and he just sat there and like congratulated me, like you deserve it, man. I'm so proud of you, and blah blah blah. I was just like, damn, I was like, this is Jay Briscoe. I've been watching that dude since he was like 16 years old, and I'm just like, this guy just came like and congratulated, said he was proud of me, like that's awesome. And then over time, like they started doing GCW shows and like all that stuff, and then I forget what Ring of Honor show it was, but my son came to the first show that we had live. I think it was Best in the World. And I introduced Jay to my wife, and he's like, "Oh, hi!" And then I introduced my son, and my son was about a year at the time. And Jay sat down, and had a full blown conversation with my wife and my son for about 15, 20 minutes. And then every time I saw him on the GCW shows, he'd be like, "Oh, how's your family? How's the little one? How's your wife?" And because they would fly, we'd fly to the same airport because they live in Delaware. And I lived in Harrisburg, which is like lower Pennsylvania. So like we both fly out of Maryland. So we'd always have the same flight. And he's like, oh, I'm getting ready. He's like, and we'd have like a 11 a.m. flight coming home from LA, or 11 at night flight coming home from LA. So we get home at like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, something like that. Something like that, some crazy time like that. And he's like, oh yeah, I land, I'm going to drive straight home and I'm going to my daughter's cheerleading practice or game or competition. I was like, dude, you're going to sleep? He's like, oh yeah, maybe. He's like, wife will let me sleep. I'll have a few beers. I'll be good. So I was really bummed when I heard the pass. I remember I was at the gym and I saw local people because I'm not far from Delaware. So I got a lot of indie wrestlers from Delaware. And I saw a lot of people like, oh, I hope this isn't true. I hope this isn't true. Like nobody's saying names. And I went to Twitter. It's like, okay, well, I don't see anybody's name. So it might, and this isn't like being rude to somebody else because nobody's life means more, but like it was somebody I didn't know. Apparently that's what I thought because I'm not seeing anything on Twitter. So I was like, okay, whatever, And then I'm giving my kids a bath with my wife and we're just talking and I see Tony Khan's tweet and I go, what the fuck? And my wife's like, what's wrong? And he's like, what the fuck? And she's like, what? I was like, Jay Briscoe died. And like, we just got silent. She just starts crying. And because she's like, he's such a great freaking person. I was like, yeah, I know. And then it's not like I was hanging out with him or we were best friends, but we talked all the time. We saw each other. And then like, I don't normally drink during the weekdays. And I just like, and I said to my wife after we put our kids to bed, I'm like, I need a beer. It's like, I'm just like, that's just hit me really hard, especially like that he's with his kids.
Man, yeah. Thank you for sharing that. That man, you're making me tear up over here.
Yeah.
It was it's nice like just hearing good things about people who you're gonna always perceive as good people, but it's nice to always like hear
Yeah,
how great they were.
yeah, and it bothers me with the whole internet going after him because of comments he made over a decade ago. And like I understand some people don't change, but the people that don't change, but they're trying to say they change just to get back into the swing of things, like just make sure that to save their own ass, they have to constantly apologize in like ways that it's just like you're trying hard. But like I remember their thing about with Jay, like he when he like I'm not a religious person by any means. I but I don't care what people believe in, and I respect everybody's opinion on it. But somebody was saying like, oh, when Jay asked about it, when they asked Jay about it, he's like, listen, he's like, when I made those comments years ago, he's like, I thought I was following the Lord's word. He's like, but then over time, I realized that those words that the Lord was saying was not right. And I realized he was wrong. And for somebody who is religious to admit that their God is wrong, that shows that you're changing and that you're willing to change and change your views and realize that, you fucked up. Like, it's okay to admit you fucked up. And he did it in a way, and people refuse to let him live it down. Sad.
Yeah, very well said. Thank you for that. I have a quick question. Is there like a mental fatigue? You talked earlier about like a physical fatigue with your fucked up ankle. You were saying, but is there a mental fatigue to being on the road and away for family and friends for so often?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things for me, like, because I'm not signed to anything, so I'm just constantly, I have to constantly be gone, like gone 3-4 days a week, and just like, and like another big like mental fatigue thing is just like, so like I said, I was supposed to be signed to Ring of Honor when at first when they're like, oh, by July you'll be signed, and I was actually supposed to be signed there by like 3 times over the course of 2 years. They kept saying it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, and it never came, and like I'm busting. I've been doing this for 16, 17 years almost, and that happened. And I remember it was just like, or like they kept saying, you're going to sign, you're going to sign. And then AEW started doing a lot of the dark stuff down in Orlando Jacksonville during the pandemic. And people were getting signed out of there. And people were like, oh, Tony, why don't you go to Honor? I was like, no, I'm dedicated to Ring of Honor. They promised me, like I'm sticking with them. I'm sticking with them because like I love Ring of Honor, because I truly did. I loved the people I was around. I loved what they're doing. Like, I just loved it. And then Ring of Honor shuts down. I'm just like, it's like, fuck, man. Like, I literally wasted the past 2.5 years of like trying to get signed, and now like I've got nothing. And like that was really demoralizing towards me. And like I just remember like thinking like, should I just stop wrestling? Because like, at the current moment, AEW had a big roster, and WWE were making cuts left and right. I'm like, yo, these people are like, they've got more star power than I do. So like, what should I do? And then like having kids and stuff like that, I'm just like, shit. Like that was a big thing. I'm like, well, did I let them down? And did I let my wife down, who pushes me very hard and supports me a lot to continue to do this? Because I'm not like some 25-year-old kid. I'm going to be 35. And I just didn't know what to do, because I remember going when all the Ring of Honor kept saying, oh, we're going to sign you. We're going to sign you. My wife and I were struggling a lot because, pandemic sort of fully didn't like leave up, and we couldn't wrestle as much. And somebody's like, oh, Ring of Honor's going to sign you. My wife's just, I'm just like, I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I'm tired of struggling. And my wife's just like, no, just stick with this. She's like, just stick with it, please. Just, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's like, so that, and then Ring of Honor shut down, and that just weighed in the back of my head. It's like, wow, that sucks. So like that was like really mentally draining, to the point where I'm like, should I just stop wrestling? And the only reason it was because my wife kept saying to go again, and thanks to Bryce, which I love that guy to death, because I've known Bryce for a couple years, because we're from the same area, and I did Shikara a lot, and he actually helped invest in my brewery. And the one day he asked if he could host trivia, and I was like, yeah, sure, because I was doing wrestling trivia. I was like, no problem. And we were talking. It was when AEW was getting ready to start doing dark in Philly and Baltimore and all those other places. It's like, hey, Tony, 3 months we're doing Philly and Baltimore. I was like, cool. He's like, yeah, I'm telling you for a reason. He's like, start getting stuff going again. I told my wife that, and she's like, okay, let's do it. And I just started doing them more, and now I'm I just got back from dark tapings Saturday or Sunday, so I'm continuously doing it. It's being able to help me support everything and keep afloat.
You're talking about Bryce Grimsberg, correct?
Yes, Bryce.
I love Bryce. He was on this podcast last year. He's a very great guy. Bryce is.
Yeah, I've never had a bad. Every time I see him, he's like, "Oh, send my love to your wife and your kids," because like he knows them too. Like it's like that. He's like he always has my back, and that's what I love about him. Like he's not a person in wrestling where like I got your back, Jack, and then you ask him to get your back, and like, nah, man, I'm sorry, I'm good. Like a lot of people I do know at AEW, they do have my back. Like honestly, I'd like to say if it weren't for Mox, I probably wouldn't have done the first Ring of Honor show. Because I wrestled him in July, and then I was in Detroit for GCW because it was running. Well, I was going to Detroit because GCW was running there Thursday, but this local company like, hey, we want to use you, and it'll be cheaper for us to get you here instead of flying you there and back with GCW. So they flew me in Tuesday to wrestle. So then I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna hit up AEW and do some extra work to get an extra payday. So I'm walking around the back, and I saw Mox. It's the first time I saw him since my match, and we're just talking. And then Tony Khan walks by, and Mox like, hey, Tony, this is Tony. And then Tony Khan's like, oh, I'm Tony too. That's funny. I'm just like, yeah, cool, whatever. And he goes, oh wait, you're Tony Deppen. Yeah. Like, oh, well, he's like, I kind of want to. I'm doing this Ring of Honor thing. You heard about it, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, would you like to be part of it? And I was like, absolutely. He's like, okay, get with so-and-so and we'll set something up. So if Mox didn't introduce me to him, I probably wouldn't have been on the first Ring of Honor show.
Crazy how like your connections really make a difference in wrestling. That's awesome to see that you wrestle Moxley and then you meet Tony Khan and get involved with that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
When you're when you're doing like the dark tape, sorry.
No, I should say it's probably just based off my personality.
I'm so sorry.
Like they like me or something.
You have a very driven personality, just at least from just the little bit we've been talking. So how is it like starting your own business and like starting your brewery? How does that how do you balance that with wrestling? Like how does those two come together?
So my buddies and I were homebrewing in like 2017, 2018. And we're just doing a lot of homebrew competitions, and we're doing very well and in placing them and such. So we would do festivals, and we were like, when are you guys opening? And we're like, oh. And my friend got super drunk one night. He's like, yo, I applied for AEW, man. I was like, okay. I was like, let's do this. So now there are 3 of us, and thankful that my other partner realized that I'm pretty busy. So they manhandle a little stuff, but now we're getting ready to open a second location that's closer to my house. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that. And I really couldn't tell you how I can juggle any of it. I'm a person that doesn't need a lot of sleep, and I like to be active.
So follow up with that with your brewery.
Congrats on the second location.
What's your go-to? Are you like a stout guy? Are you an IPA? Like what's your taste?
I used to I still like IPA, but before we opened, I was just like, I would drink IPAs all the time. And then after he opened, my one buddy that owns in the brewery, he's like, hey, one day when you open, you guys like we just drink pilsners and lagers now. I was like, oh my god, you guys sound so pretentious now saying that. Like, oh, the cool stuff's not in. And we open, and I'm just like, give me the pilsner or lager. I still like IPAs. I'll drink everything, anything, but I normally go towards a lager or a pilsner or a lighter beer.
So my next question, well, Adam stole my question with Jay Briscoe, but like that was a very great thing to ask. I love your response to that. I guess, well, my next question is on like Action Andretti. You went against him a lot before he was even in AEW. I don't want to spoil anything, but as you mentioned, you were in Florida for the dark taping. Like, what's it like working with Action Andretti and now seeing him, beating Chris Jericho on his first television match?
Yeah, so I wrestled him in Maryland. I don't know how long ago it was, but we wrestled. We had a singles match, pretty good match from what I remember. It's on YouTube. It's in a full match form or music video form if you want to watch. And I came home one day. I was running a little late coming home because I always try to watch AEW when it starts. And I walk in and then I'm just like, I walk in and look at the TV. It's like, wait a minute. I was like, that Action Andretti. I'm like, what the? Because he would go to a lot of GCW, like he'd do a lot of GCW shows at the time too. So like I was very familiar with him. It's like, is that Andretti? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, he'll lose probably like a minute, and then he won. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then, now he's doing a lot of cool stuff, and I was at the tapings for Dark last month too, and we were just talking, and he's just like, yo, this is wild to me. He's like, it's gonna get wilder, dude. It's like you went from just doing a lot of the East Coast stuff. I'm like, and now you're going to be all over. I was like, so I'm like, but congratulations on that. And it was funny because I was going down there this weekend. I was like, oh, it'd be cool if I wrestle him again. And that's what I did.
Is it cool if I take the next question?
Yeah, go ahead, Aiden.
So earlier you said that before you had kind of gravitated towards deathmatch wrestling. You talked about CC. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk right now. What is your favorite? I was just going to ask, what's your favorite deathmatch, and what is a match you would recommend to someone who isn't really too deep in the deathmatch scene like myself?
It depends which way you want to work it. Like a way if it's a deathmatch, but it technically isn't. But Samoa Joe versus the Necro Butcher. If you have never watched it on YouTube, and watch it because it is great. In every way, shape, or form. So there's a backstory behind that because Necro wrestled at Shakara, and he wrestled Matt Turner and Anthony Franco, and they were Joe / CM Punk students. This is years ago, and I think they're actually the last of Punk students, if memory serves me correct. And like I've known Turner for a very long time because he's from my area. And Necro beat the shit out of these kids, just was pummeling the fuck out of them. And Joe can't watch it because Joe beats the shit out of him. And Bryce is the ref actually too. Bryce has hair in it too.
Wow.
That match, it's not per se a hardcore match.
Wow,
that's legit one of my favorites. It was like 2006 or some shit like that. It was great. It was fucking amazing. But one of my favorite death matches would be Necro Butcher versus Toby Klein at 2003 King of the Death matches for IWA Mid-South. There's one part where Necro's sitting outside the ring on his knees, and Toby Klein throws a VCR at his head, from the ring, and just the side hits Necro in the head, and it makes the worst thud. That's why I love the match. So I couldn't tell you what happened in the match besides that part. But those two matches, I'd recommend the shit out of them. Especially the Joe. It's awesome. Every way, shape, or form. If you like stiff wrestling and you want to see a guy take a power slam on his head, that's the match for you. And how you take a power slam on your head is beyond me.
Okay, then I'll add that to my watch list, and I'll probably watch that tonight.
It's on. So.
Same.
Everything's on YouTube now, so I guess you can watch it. Tony, you've been part of all these, different promotions. And one of my favorite shows to listen to in the morning is Busted Open, and my favorite stories are Bully Ray talking about the boys in the back. Out of all these promotions, do you feel there's, that there's, every locker room you go into, there's some sense of, hey, we're in this together. We got your back no matter where you go. Kind of like guidance with each other, or, when you told your stories about Duggan and Jay, are there, legends in pro wrestling that have given you that advice to kind of further your career with?
So right now, as it goes down, it's I'm one of the oldest people in the indies. That's not an old WWE guy or something like that. But I feel like a lot of people, because I'm 35 and all these kids 21, 22. So they'll be asking me for advice, or they'd be this and that. And for a while, GCW would make me room with the kids that are like 20, 21. I was like, yo, why the fuck are you doing that? Like, kids they're close to my son's age almost and mine. Like, what the hell? And they're like, well, we're doing that because, like, you could look after and make sure nothing happens. I was like, I get that. And like, I remember, because you were saying about, like, somebody offered me advice about something. I remember I was posting something on Twitter, and Chris Hero messages me, and he goes, Tony, don't be saying that shit. He's like, I get why you said it. He's like, but look at it this way. He's like, right now you're one of the leaders in the independent wrestling scene and the locker room. He's like, so these kids are going to look up to you and what you post, and they're going to see that it's okay to post that, and they're going to continue to be like that, and it's going to put wrestling in a very bad thing. He's like, can you please delete that and don't say stuff like that? And it wasn't anything derogatory. It was just like, it was like my view on wrestling or something like that. And I was like, okay, like I wish I could remember what it was, but he's like, just be a leader. And now there'll be times I see somebody post something and I'll reach out to them. It's like, hey man, like, don't post that. Like, people are going to look up to you about that, and they're going to start following that type of situation, and it's going to make things way worse. And they're like, oh, I get what you're saying. So like, I'm more mindful now. And like, if I'm posting like just my opinion on wrestling and stuff, just because I'm like, okay, I don't want to be one of those guys that get over online because like I haven't blocked, but like Vince Russo and Disco and Jim Cornette, like I don't care. Like, I'm not going to be one of those guys. Like, I hate those people that have to constantly like interject themselves into that just to cause some bullshit so they can get people to talk about them. I don't want to do that. I want to wrestle and have fun and enjoy my time while I can and make money.
And a quick follow-up question, if that's
I wish
okay.
a lot of people.
So for that, Tony, we mentioned Action Andretti. Is there someone, one of the young kids that you mentioned your mentor, or you have to oversee? Is there anyone else on the independent scene, some of these young kids that wrestling fans like us could look forward to for the future for their career? Like, is there anyone out there that you just saw a match of theirs and you're like, wow, this kid's going to be really good?
There's a lot. As the problem is, like, so like we have our finger on every single drop of wrestling. Like, we can get it anywhere at the drop of a hat. So everybody's seen everything almost, and like, it's hard to say because, like I said, we already know, and everybody, like, with gifts that go viral quick, and like kids starting so young. Like, I really like Jordan Oliver, and I wish somebody would give him the respect that he deserves, because he's got himself in phenomenal shape. He cares about wrestling, and he's only 21, I think, something like that. And he constantly wants to get better. He's always like, him and I always discuss, like, he'll watch my match and I'll watch his match, or we'll tell each other the way our match is going to go. And we'd be like, oh, that sounds great. That sounds great. Or that may not sound great. Like, I wish more people had a mindset of Jordan there. He just like, even if he's not going to get signed, if he doesn't get signed in some point of his life, then it's bullshit. But if he doesn't get signed, he still wants to be the best he possibly can be. But I don't know any wrestlers that really stand out in my head like, wow, like, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, because every single time I've made that suggestion, it ended up happening to people. And like, I'm very happy that happened. Like, I'd say to Brett, like, I remember years ago, I wrestled Lee Moriarty in a random Pennsylvania town. And I was like, yo, Brett, I was like, you need to bring Lee Moriarty to GCW. And he's just like, just pretty much no-sold me. And then he had a really good match with Alex Shelley, AEW. And then Brett's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to bring him in. I was like, yeah, I only kind of said that, like, how long ago?
So I've seen
Wow, that's a
comment.
small world.
This last comment by Ethan. If you chose a OG ECW guy, I'm assuming, to go against in their prime, who would it be?
Oh, probably because I fucking love this guy so much, Jerry Lynn. If I ever heard anybody say anything bad about Jerry Lynn, I'm fighting you on the
Ooh, that would
spot.
be a good match.
I fucking love Jerry Lynn. He is the nicest human being in the world. Like, my brother's favorite wrestler was Lynn. And I remember meeting Jerry for the first time. And he came to GCW in Chicago because AEW was there too. And he's like, comes up and starts talking to me. He has a little booklet. Like, he was like, writing down notes of the match. and we were just talking, and I was like, "Hey, you're my brother's favorite wrestler. Can I like get a picture with you and like send it to him?" He's like, "I'm your brother's favorite wrestler out of everyone." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Hey, I'll tell you what." He's like, "Give me your phone number." He's like, "When your brother's birthday comes up," he's like, "I'll call your brother and wish." And Jerry's been my last weekend. Jerry was my coach for all weekend of wrestling, and I was very happy with the advice he gave me, and I couldn't be more happy to actually be able to learn from him because I think he was always one of the best, and the fact is that he's just a freaking great person.
So
Jake,
humble. That's so awesome to hear.
Tony rules. Thanks for watching, Jake. And I guess Tony does rule. I definitely recommend going and seeing Tony Deppin's matches. As Adam said, it's all over YouTube. So
Is it cool if I take this next question?
yeah,
Okay, then. So obviously you've had a multitude of other dance partners in the ring, but who do you feel you've had the best chemistry with? And is chemistry something that's more naturally occurring, or is it something that you really just get from repetition? Kind of like you know how your teammate wants the ball if you're playing basketball.
So the best chemistry I've had will probably be a person nobody's really heard of, but I wish more people did. But he's older now; he just doesn't care. But it's Unbreakable Andy Harner. He did a couple stuff for Dragon Gate USA. He did CZW back in the day, but that dude is he looks like the least athletic person in the world, but he's the most athletic. Like he actually fun story. He actually so Pac, Adrian Neville or whatever you want to call him, was a backyard wrestler, and he was part of this backyard forum back in the day called the BYW Link, and he would watch Unbreakable Andy Harner do flips, and he taught Pac how to do flips via instant message. He was like, "Yo, this is how you do this. This is how you do this. This is how you do this." Because Andy was doing shooting star leg drops in like '97, so like standing ones. So like he taught Pac how to do what he did, and every time I have yet to talk to Pac because I don't feel like when I'm in the AEW locker room that's like I don't think I can because I'm the extra work technically, but one of these days I'm gonna be like, "Yo, Andy Harner says hi," or Anarchy Andy because I was his backyard. I was like, "Anarchy Andy says hi," because I just want to see his reaction to it. But Andy is somebody I had the best chemistry I've ever had with. Him and I would have the most insane matches together, and this was back in like 2012 and 2011. We just the most insane matchups, and then that's actually how I got over with the owner of GCW. He told me like 2015 had a match with Andy Harner. The guy was just he has zero fucking charisma, and I tell him all the time. But his athletic ability, his mind for wrestling is always amazing. Like, and him and I, like you were asking, like, is chemistry like organic or is it repetition? It's organic. If you're in the ring with someone with no chemistry, your chances of you getting chemistry with that person down the road is very unlikely. Like you just don't click. Your minds don't like mesh the same way. But like everything about the way Andy and I clicked with our minds, like because he was super spotty and super creative, and I could construct matches better than he could. So like we just balanced each other out so well with it, and just there's a few music videos of him, like the matches him and I did, and we were doing these matches in front of like 45, 50 people. Like we were just going off the walls because we never thought we were going to make it anywhere. I wish he would have continued because he would have done something, but I never thought I was going to go anywhere. I just wanted to wrestle for the fun of it. I was making no money ever, so I was like, "Fuck this! I'm just going to go do these cool moves, and then one day I'm just going to stop wrestling." And now I'm here.
So I once seen two wrestlers fight after
get done with this one.
Ethan says, I once seen two wrestlers fight after a PWG show after the show over a lady. Of course. Well,
hopefully it wasn't Sunny.
Well, that was a definitely unique question, Ethan.
So when you're on the road and you pull up to a gas station or a truck stop, what is your go-to snack? Like, what is your go-to snack combination?
Flamin' Hot Chews. I eat that shit for breakfast. I got my son into only 2. And obviously, like, I don't bangs taste like ass, but like C4 energy drinks. But I try to eat pretty good to begin with, like, because I have bad tendencies of drinking a lot of beer. So like I try to factor in that, and I eat healthy and drink bad.
Is that the trade-off of running a brewery?
Same here.
It is a big trade-off. You're like, you have all this access to beer at any given time. Like, well, I'm gonna drink a lot of this, but I managed to stay in shape, so I'm not complaining.
So yeah,
Do you have a wrestling named beer at your brewery?
So we have a few. We had a Jushin
Oh,
Thunder
sorry, I was
Lager,
asking. Do you have a?
like a name here. And we had Jushin Thunder Lager. So sexual chocolate, Mark Henry.
I like that one.
I know we've had a few. I know we have a few other ones in the work. Oh, we did the Mega Sours Collide instead of Mega Powers Collide. Explode. From WrestleMania 5, the best WrestleMania ever. We have a lot. My friend and I have a list of wrestling beer names that we're just like, okay, we're like, it has to be right to use it. Like, we're just like, okay, we won't use this one right now. We'll use it down the road.
Does that sexual chocolate beer come with a hand koozie?
I wish.
Probably one of the worst storylines I've ever seen in pro wrestling was birth to a hand. So
Bryce, because Bryce called the Bryce right. So,
well, yeah, it's a tail end for Dynamite. We always used to have we always like to have a special guest an hour before Dynamite. It was great having you on, Tony. Thanks again for this last minute switch up. But we got to talk about a lot of different things. But I guess I'll go for one more question for to close this out. I seen a clip today that you did a tornado DDT off of a minivan. That's one of the most unique things I've ever seen. I haven't seen anyone do that. It's like, how did that even happen? Like,
that was through On Point Wrestling, and yeah, it was the one wrestler's van, the cameraman's van. I was joking about it. He's just like, yeah, you could do that. I was like, okay, cool. And I actually had the ref drive the van. And a lot of people, I got a lot of like, you make a wrestler look so fucking stupid. The ref's driving the van. I was like, first of all, like, when you think about it, wrestling's kind of weird to begin with. Like, so you're telling me that I could grab a guy by the arm and throw him into the ropes? Where does that make sense? Come on. A lot of wrestling doesn't make sense, but you just got to enjoy it. Shut off that filter in your brain and shut the fuck up. Like, I know the ins and outs of wrestling because I've been doing it for so long. I can watch stuff that, like, I'm like, okay, that's not right. That's not right. But guess what? I'm not going to enjoy wrestling. I shut it off in my brain. I just enjoy it. Like, too many, like, and nothing against, like, y'all, like, but so many fans, like, think that they know every in and out working, and they just want to constantly overly critique it instead of enjoying it. Just enjoy it. Why are you critiquing it? You don't watch movies and be like, well, maybe if the actor would have done this or the actor did this wrong. Shut up. You don't know what acting is, because I don't even know what acting is. Like, the people know that the best are the people that are getting paid lots of money to do it. Just enjoy it. Like, there's no reason to be that way. I never understood it.
And honestly, Tony, I think that's the best way you put it, because I've said numerous times with everybody here that wrestling fans are just, when they get online, it's toxic, and there's bickering, and they can't just enjoy the product.
No,
and how you just summed it up sums it up completely. What I've been trying to get across on this podcast and to everybody is enjoy the product. I mean, it doesn't matter what product you watch, enjoy it. Don't critique it. I mean, because you guys also have lives, and you guys are there to just entertain people and literally put your bodies on the line.
Yeah. And like a lot of people are just like, I always feel like, oh, I love professional wrestling. I love professional wrestling. And then you see them like, well, I hope AEW fails. Why? You don't love wrestling then.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me. Like, I truly don't get it. Like, for a while, there was times where I was over analyzing everything and somebody doing it. I was finding myself extremely burnt out about wrestling. And now I just shut it off in my brain. I was like, I'm just going to enjoy this. Like, I don't see the point of it anymore. Like, it's going to make me not love wrestling anymore. And if you just want to watch something to critique it, then fucking either get into the wrestling business or fucking do something productive with it. I don't know. Like, go to wrestling school. Find out that you might be wrong.
Yeah.
I truly don't get it. Like, just enjoy the product and shut the fuck up. Like, you could say, yeah, I didn't like that. But
Amen, brother. Amen. Testify.
They did this. No, you're just like, oh, I personally didn't like that because guess what? I don't like fucking blue cheese on my wings, but my wife does. I like ranch. I don't think she's a heathen for it. But I'm just like, okay, that's what I like. It's easy. I don't watch Harry Potter movies because I don't like Harry Potter. It's quite simple. It's a crazy concept, I guess, for some people, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just because I'm older.
You are spitting ranch is better than
I
blue
agree with
cheese.
you
I'll
on that,
stand
though.
by that.
I'm a ranch person. I actually have wings. My wife went and got me wings because we got kicked out of that wing place because my kids were involved. She got me downstairs, and I'm going to eat some ranch on my
Oh no.
with celery.
Well,
With celery.
yeah, the last part, was really the best part of the whole entire thing. I feel like myself, I've gotten burnt out with wrestling a little bit. I have refereed in the past. I still do off and on. A lot of people, I guess, fans who haven't really, been in a wrestling environment or anything, they think that they felt that they've been involved, but really they've just been watching from home or, just.
I think since they watch so much, they know ins and out. Like I've watched thousands of hours of movies. I don't know shit about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you a good actor from bad actor. That's what I like.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Again, this is my last time. Thank you for coming on, Tony. As I mentioned, Lady Frost was supposed to be on here, but due to cancellation, we got a phenomenal guest in Tony Deppen. But yeah, thank you for being on here, and we look forward to having you on in the future.
Thank you all for having me. I had a blast talking.
It was excellent meeting you. It was awesome to hear everything you've had to say.
Yeah, like
great
I'm
stories.
a pretty much open book when it comes to that stuff. I'm not going to be rude, but I'm always going to like just have no filter with stuff. Like, okay, well, if somebody fucked me over, I'm going to say something. I'm not going to be like, well, he's a fucking dickhead. I was like, well, I don't like him. As simple as that.
Tony, before you leave, where can everybody find you on social media?
So obviously, Twitter on Tony_Deppen. I have an Instagram. It's Insta_Deppen. I do have a Facebook. It's under my real name, but don't even request because I probably won't add you because that's literally personal things from like it's my real name. My real name is wrestling anyway. So, but I try to keep a big difference there because I don't do a lot of wrestling talk on there.
Yeah.
Gotta have that split.
Yeah, I need
All right,
the
man.
break.
Hey, appreciate you again.
No problem.
Hope,
Like I said, thank you for
hope
having
you can make
me.
it out to Texas to do a couple of these shows down here.
I've been to Texas a few times. Dallas, mainly.
Yeah. Hope. Yeah, that's out of the woods. So hopefully next way, I'll stop by and hopefully.
Yeah, and I'll make sure to stay on top of your social media, Tony, so I can see when you come to Florida to do some shows too.
Awesome. I know Florida should be relatively soon because I was, like I said, I know what my schedule is and I know what we're supposed to be doing. So I think in the next couple months.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome. Thank you guys again.
Sweet, man.
Have a great night.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Thanks so
Tony.
much. You too.
See you.
You as well. Take it.
Right? Or we're just going straight into Dynamite.
Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a really cool
Light
guy.
the fuse, Connor.
Yeah.
I feel
He
kind of
was,
bad because I haven't watched a lot of his stuff. Connor sent me a few of his matches, and man, the guy, he knows a lot of good psychology in his matches. So
I
yeah,
watched a
go
lot
check
of
him
the-
out. Watch
Yeah,
his stuff.
I watched a little bit of some of his old CZW matches on YouTube before jumping on. So
Yeah, I've never been huge into deathmatch, so I'm probably going to check out the Joe versus Necro Butcher. I just added it to my watch later, so I'm probably going to watch that before I start doing my homework tonight.
Oh, dude, nice.
Wow, so we're starting off. Well, I'm not surprised we're starting off this match because it's in Dayton, Ohio. We're starting off, I guess, with Moxley and Hangman.
the rubber match.
Is that guy in the beanie? Is he part of the Blackpool Combat Club now?
Rubber match.
Like behind Moxley and Yuta? Is he for
Apparently
real? He's
so.
walking with
My stream hasn't even started yet.
Who is he?
So
what? Who is
Yeah,
he?
who is that guy?
Is he just a fan or I don't see him now?
Maybe it's Wheeler Yuta's uncle.
Moxley's dad?
oh
Or
yeah,
Moxley's
what's
uncle.
going on?
Well, no, he's still
Uncle
walking. with
Yuta.
him.
Uncle Yuta.
Uncle Yuta.
It's like how there was
Okay, so
there
he's
was
not a
fake
fan.
Kane
Who
and
is
there,
it?
there was
Uncle Yuta.
there was fake Diesel and fake Razor Ramon. It's just fake William Regal.
Oh wow. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The fake Diesel and wow, that's a major trolling if they do that.
Dude,
He's not a
that
fan.
oh my gosh. That was probably one of the weirdest moments. I would love to have now that I'm thinking about it, we should try to see if we can get Tony back on and do like a watch along with some of his favorite matches, and then we could have a couple brewskis for those of us that have like the beer ski.
Yeah, no, but he had some
It'd be
great
kind of cool
answers.
to yeah.
I didn't know that he owned a brewery. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either until Lane
I didn't either.
mentioned it.
No, I didn't know. Yeah.
It's like one of those things that like I've learned while we've had like the couple of interviews I've done. It's like I want to like pick up like on context to be like, oh, okay, well, let's see how this ties into their interest and see if they can go a little more in depth because like I like knowing some things that like maybe most of us wouldn't know about him. And I think that was really cool that he had some wrestling themed beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sure
Like
to.
I'm kind of wanting to go to his brewery just to
whenever I think of a name for one of them, just immediately go to Twitter, tag them. That's gonna be my new thing.
I mean, you got to think though too is that
make it
a lot
cool.
of these independent wrestlers, they also have a lot of side businesses just to keep that income going. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, especially with how the word isn't risky, but how much variability there is to, maybe it's a slow week one week, maybe it's a slow month, maybe
Yeah.
something like COVID happens and it's a slow year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have some breaking news, I guess. AEW just put out a few minutes, maybe an hour ago. AEW announced its launch of live event series AEW House Rules. Their first house it's a house show, but they're still, even though they're saying it's non-televised, they're going to record these. Like they'll be putting these out at some point, like they did, like with the what was it, the House Always Wins in Jacksonville, like they did their first ever house show with Cody and Moxley and all them. Like they recorded it, and they'll put it on their streaming service. Whenever they get that, and their looks like their first house show is going to be on March 18th in Troy, Ohio.
I'm really excited for that. It's going to give a lot of these younger wrestlers more reps. It's going to give just more people who want to work more chances. It's going to do a lot, I think. And then even when someone is off of TV for a prolonged period of time, they don't have to be not wrestling. It's going to be nice. Plus, it just means I'll be able to see AEW more, hopefully.
Yeah.
These are okay. It says like customized matches, whatever that means. Customized matches. I like when WWE did they did like the lottery, well, not the lottery, but like they spin the wheel and like whatever it lands on, that's the match it is. Or like that was so interesting. I thought. And like imagine.
I think what kind of ruined that for me was the whole like Brodus Clay what's Albert when he was under Tensai when they did that whole they were gonna do a long match. And I felt so
Yeah.
bad for for Tensai Albert. I can't remember his real name. His actual name is
Matt Bloom.
crazy
Is
that one of the most
his name?
credible wrestling. Matt Bloom. Crazy, one of the most credible like wrestling trainers, and you see him in lingerie. Like that must be a Vince McMahon like concept. It's like, let's put this big strong man that's been in Japan in lingerie. That's good shit.
It sounds more of that he really doesn't like him and he wanted to embarrass him. That's what I did to
Which
the
is funny
Boogeyman.
because true. How many? He's done that to a lot of wrestlers.
And the only
Yeah.
bad thing is the
Like,
Boogeyman's
like-
he's probably made lots of money through this whole thing, even though they based it off of an embarrassment.
Shoot, I'll put worms in my mouth too.
Has this match started yet?
No, the bell hasn't even rung. They're just
The
fighting.
bell has the ring.
But I like that they're doing these live events.
Oh,
Well, I just there's a lot of reasons I'm glad. For one, talent wise, now maybe a lot more people will get a chance to get used. Even though it's non-televised, these will be, shown at some point. As Tony said, that their first house show was added to their library, and I believe you said that in the press release. Always will be into their library, so these will be, out sometime. But I'm looking for them to have like unique matchups with like I don't know, like their first house shows was Cody Rhodes and Aaron Solo in a Falls County War match. I'm looking for like a lot of matches you wouldn't necessarily see on TV, like Moxley versus I don't know, Moxley versus Billy Gunn. I don't know, something like that.
that'd be fun.
Man.
Mark's already bleeding.
Maybe Max Caster versus maybe Max Caster, in a rap battle against Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, stuff like that is going to be so.
Yeah.
And like from a fan's perspective, I'd like to attend one of these because like they don't have any time limits for a match. Well, they may because the build and stuff, but there's no time limit. There's no just a house show.
David asked in the chat, when does tickets go on sale for the house show? I just checked, and tickets go on sale for the March 18th house show on the 3rd, so in 2 days at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Oh, cool.
So if you're Central, 9 a.m. Central. No. Wait, yeah, never mind. Oh, I'm a fool. I mixed up my times.
Mhm.
Wow. Mox can never wrestle a first blood match because he would lose within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. He reminds me a lot of like a couple of ECW legends come to mind because was it ECW? Like weren't they always bleeding in ECW?
Yeah, for the
Almost
most
reminds me
part.
of, like New Jack, where
once they rebranded and it was Eastern Championship Wrestling, but they changed it to Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, because it basically turned when Shane Douglas won the Eastern Championship and NWA title, and he threw the belts to the ground and said, "I'm the ECW World Champion. All these old school NWA guys can kiss my ass."
That's probably when the Extreme was born.
So kind of going back to the shows. I think what WWE or AEW and even WWE could capitalize on this. But how many moments and things happen at house shows that you would love to see, like dream matches, and funny things like Balor and Elias singing Wonderwall. What they could do is do a good high quality, split it up into like chunks and match, like specific things on YouTube like that. I think that would help bring eyes to their product. Because think about it, a lot of kids now, especially on tablets, they're going to be going towards more YouTube and shorts and streaming. Might as well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these shows they're going to be doing is I don't see them getting on HBO Max. I look for them to do their own streaming service. But who knows? But I feel like they're going to save a lot of this for their streaming service. But that doesn't mean they won't, not release it on their YouTube channel. But
Yeah.
well, for them not to record a lot of this, build up that watch time, build it up, so they'll be ready for because with HBO Max, I could get a lot of leverage of money out of that. WWE got what was it, a million or no?
It was 1 billion from Peacock.
Yeah, like it was 1 billion.
Yeah,
from their
crazy
deal. So if AEW could get, maybe not, I don't know if they get that much, but something like that, that'd be very beneficiary. You know what I'm trying to say? It would have benefited AEW. Ooh, Moxley's bleeding bad.
Wow, he just threw him from a fireman's carry.
When is he
into the
not
ring.
bleeding bad?
I can't remember the last time he didn't bleed. I think there was a tag match
Right.
with him and Danielson and Claudio. And who asked that question? David. I don't know if you're living in that area, but it's in Ohio. So John Mox is in the cover of it. So I'm assuming Mox will be on that show.
Mm-hmm. I forgot. I'm still signed into the to the account. So yeah. Sorry, Connor. I should have told you in advance.
What
Love you, bro.
account?
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still signed in
No,
from
it's not.
Thursday. Oops, my
Yeah.
bad.
The tickets.
Well, since I just mentioned Thursday, yeah.
Tickets for all the AEW house shows. Well, those tickets for all AEW house rules shows. So I'm going to announce some more. Shows start at $20 plus fees and can be purchased at AEW Ticketstar on February 3rd, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central.
From Twitter, the old man that Moxley came out with is apparently his dad. That's from Twitter, so it's not confirmed.
Oh, that's cool then. Awesome.
But that's what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, cool. I like that.
Well, I'm seeing it now.
Excuse me, y'all.
I like
I've had
Hangman
way too much screen time today.
playing more of a heel with the Ohio crowd. And yeah, I feel that I've used too many screens today.
But I think I agree with you on that one. I'm glad that he's playing heel because it's one of those things that they got. He's smart enough to know, hey, I'm gonna get a boo as soon as I'm go after their gold boy.
I also liked about CM Punk.
It's one of those things that
when a CM Punk went to Long Island, everyone was booing him, and the Punk and MJF was over. But it's funny how they was able to keep the story going when they weren't necessarily. They were in two different feuds. They were still feuding in some type of way because I forget what CM Punk wore. Didn't he wear like a Chicago shirt in Long Island or something, a baseball team or something? And I believe after the show, didn't Hook body slam CM Punk or something?
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
I don't think we've had a chance to talk about the Royal Rumble yet, have we?
No, we haven't actually.
What are I'll let y'all go first. What are your thoughts on it?
Why would we talk about it?
It was very rough.
Chelsea Green, last 10 independent woman wrestler of the year, gets thrown out by mommy within 10 flipping seconds.
Yeah, that was
I hope
crazy.
it leads into something because now it sounds like you are just going to become a jobber and get buried.
Oh yeah, that's going to be what happens.
Well, I read somewhere that her character is supposed to be like a Karen type.
Yeah,
let's bury her even further.
I know. I heard. Yeah.
I know
Well,
someone
the
asked
thing
her
is,
what
she can
team.
get it over. She was a lot of fun in Impact doing the hot mess character, so I could see her doing that. Oh my gosh! What a cutter!
Yeah, that Rumble
Did you guys
was
see
kind
that?
of rough.
Oh my jeez!
So
I
there
might
was
not have gone there.
And
So
then,
I
of
think I
course,
said there's only like 2 or 3 highlights of that Rumble that I actually enjoyed. One was Asuka's Kana character finally coming over to the States.
Mm-hmm.
that was
That
cool. Yep, I agree.
mid-air spot between Ricochet and Logan Paul. I did not expect that to happen. I
Yeah.
kind of sensed something big was going to come because as soon as they both stood on the apron and
Shout
looked at
out
each other,
to
I was like,
Logan
they're
Paul.
going to go flying to each other. And then
Mhm.
obviously, I'm still a mark for Cody. Cody winning the Rumble. Those
I
were
felt
my three.
if I was booking it, I would have had Goot. I'm not calling him that.
Fans
Walter. I would have had Walter and Cody start out as number 1 and 2. The whole match, them two last, like they're the final 2 guys. Then Cody wins because they're playing this story that Cody wants to. He doesn't care if he gets injured again. He doesn't care if he has 2 twin pecs. He don't care if his body's, banged up. Like having him start at number 1 or 2 with Walter and them going to the whole Rumble and them being the last 2 guys that have been perfect. I don't get the reason you put him at 30.
We only had 29 guys in that Rumble.
The only solution that I've seen online, but the only solution I've seen online was Cody wasn't 100% medically cleared, so
I
they
did
had
see
to
that.
give him less of a workload. So I think that's kind of the solution and why they went that route. For me, like, yeah, I mean, it's a lot better story, but at the same, it kind of iced fans from turning on him as fast because fans have already started turning on him on Monday. And so I think it's going to be a rocky road going into WrestleMania. I think they're going to do the same shit that they did to him in AEW.
I think maybe eventually, but on Monday it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It's not like bad enough to warrant changing WrestleMania plans like the Daniel Bryan 2014 road to WrestleMania.
What did Cody do?
Yeah.
What? He got cheered. Cody got cheered. But a few things from the Rumble. I think I don't know if any of y'all have seen, but Adam Blampier made a really, really good how he would have booked the 2023 Royal Rumble, and I think it's just masterfully done. A perfect bit of fantasy booking. And then
I'll have to go watch that because he's
It's-
still one of
it's
my
very
favorite commentators on wrestling.
mhm.
Who
And
is
then-
this?
His name is Adam Blampier of Wrestle Talk. He's probably the only member of Wrestle Talk that I can actually agree with a lot of
You
this
see the
stuff.
guy that says on YouTube in all their videos like I wrestle talk.
Wild.
Is he? Sorry, what? The
Like when you watch
actually-
it on YouTube, the guy says I wrestle talk. Like in all their videos, is this the guy?
Oh, I don't know who it is. I can't tell.
Every time
Wrestle
watch
Talk.
wrestle talk, yeah, they say
But Gargano came out at 5 to
Ooh.
absolute crickets.
I know
Yeah.
nobody reacted.
That
I
was
thought-
so crazy.
Poor Gargano.
I thought I was in the Twilight Zone.
a lot of the WWE crowds are.
It's because they all
I don't
sit on their
know.
hands. They don't know who he is because he has been booked strong. B, because WWE fans just don't care. They'll watch the product regardless. Ever since AEW started, they've taken that passionate fan base away. That's why we're never going to have another
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan moment. That's
Yeah,
why, as great as Sami Zayn beating Roman for the titles would be, it's not going to happen because the plan is Cody, and it cannot change.
I feel like maybe not. I feel like I don't think they're gonna keep both those titles together for too long.
No, there's talks of separating them. That's why I think Cody wins the WWE because that's the one he wants.
And Universal,
And then he'll basically say, whoever wants a Universal title, here you go.
I think what you should do is keep
Well,
it
or they'll-
as one until Roman is beat, and then whoever beats Roman can separate them. Because just the visual having both the belts after beating Roman is going to be pretty nice. That's the only thing for me, though.
I thought the Rumble. Johnny Gargano is one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE. Still, it's still there. I like Johnny Gargano. I started watching his stuff in NXT. It was DIY versus FTR. It was one of their matches. I don't know who the heck any 4 of these guys were, but it was such a great match. I've always liked Johnny Gargano. I thought he had an excellent performance in the Rumble. He was like number 5, and he lasted a while in the match.
Mhm.
That was that was a good moment, and I didn't get the surprises. They wasted a whole spot of Rey Mysterio at 17.
Yeah, they also announced
He was
27
injured.
people beforehand.
Yeah,
And
like
then
the Royal
we
Rumble is
already
all, it's all about mystery, the surprise, who's
it
going
was-
where.
it baffles me. Like, hey, why would you announce Cody for if you're going to put him in at 30? Like,
I
why?
would
I
just
don't
left
get
it
that.
at 30. I would have only announced like 4 or 5 people and left the rest, anonymous. You don't know who's coming out at when. It leaves the suspense of,
Yeah, and I think
you know,
that part is it was a little too predictable for my liking.
I agree with that too. Because like everyone
Yeah, I
knew
think that
Cody
was
was
the hard
coming
part
back. Everyone
was-
knew he was going to win.
but I did like Cody and Walter at
Which-
the end. I felt like they did a very good performance with the time they had. I think Cody Rhodes versus Walter one-on-one match for title would be pretty good.
I would have Walter win that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they could long-term. Still, I believe they could do a very good. This is very. I don't want to see it happen, but well, no, there's one way I could go with this. Cody and it's always AJ and Gals Anderson, but Cody and Gals Anderson versus Imperium would be pretty good. I don't think that's ever happened. Cody and Gals Anderson. It's always been AJ, Kenny. Yeah, who's the main one with Gals? It's Styles, isn't it? Yeah, Styles
Yeah,
is the main
usually.
one with Gals Anderson. That'd be very unique.
And then also Finn Balor.
Yeah, I thought that could make a very. I don't know why they never did it, but AJ Balor and Gals Anderson. I don't know why. Like they always teased it, but they never actually did it.
You've got 2 former Bullet Club leaders. You could be getting Jay White. You could easily tell a really nice Bullet Club based story in WWE
Yeah.
if they are getting Jay White.
I don't
And
think
then you
Jay
can-
White's going.
I hope he
It
doesn't
really-
because he'd have to lose the Switchblade nickname, all of like the knife imagery, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But like,
I
he
think-
probably won't be able to do the Blade Runner because it's the same as the Sister Abigail.
I think
Yeah.
WWE is fixing to land one free agent. I don't know who it's going to be, but they're going to get someone. I
I
have a
think
feeling
that's fair. Yeah.
that they're going to get someone.
It could be Matt Cardona, just from
Whether-
he was supposed to be winning the Rumble. He actually had gear made up, and then they canceled him sometime last minute. So he had his gear all made up.
Hasn't he been
So-
trademarking the name Zack Ryder?
So they can't use it. Yeah.
So okay. Yeah, well, yeah, that's the other thing too. So I'm in a group with Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, and he has joked around with this whole statement, but so it's more of just fake news spread up by dirt sheets at this point.
Okay, then.
Yeah, but who knows? Because wrestlers are carnies,
So the news from trademarking it isn't true. Or
It's from what he is saying now. Take this with a grain of salt, because all wrestlers are carnies. It is not true. He had gear made up. He was just going to do a one-off appearance, from what it sounds like from reports from what he was saying, that he was going to do a one-off appearance with WWE with the Royal Rumble, but then got stopped last minute, and I think Booker T replaced him. I think is what I've gathered up. On his accounts, he just had gear made up for the Royal Rumble just in case. He is not going back to WWE at this moment, and he
No.
is now doing a feud with Joe Henry. Which, if you guys
Those are
haven't
very
seen the
good.
Edge,
what was you going to
have
say?
you guys
Lane?
heard the Edge's bitch song?
I haven't heard that, but I've seen.
Like, have you guys heard?
I've seen the picture
Oh.
of Edge's bitch. Yeah.
Man, that was a
Yeah, dude,
banger
it is
match,
one of the
though.
best.
Yeah, this was a very great match.
But if you you can go watch it on Impact Wrestling. Have it on Impact where it's basically Finesse Club. Like, so it's Chris Bay and Ace Austin versus the major players, and great match. The chemistry was good, and then at the end, you have a great start to a new feud or continuation of the feud, and the Edge's bitch song will just have you roll on the floor. Like
Yeah,
Impact's doing
But
some
the-
great stuff with this one.
with the Royal Rumble, the only thing I watched was the men's Royal Rumble, and that was it. All I was looking forward to was Cody. Really, that's all I was. And if Jay White or someone popped up, but
The
Cody
ending of the
was really
pay-per-view
the only.
was phenomenal.
I was
The Sami Zayn turning on the bloodline.
yeah.
It was great.
I seen the clip of that. Of all what what happened. But after I didn't stay around for any of the rest. I thought the Royal Rumble that could have done without Booker T. If that's true, that could have done without Booker T. And well, like they had number 17 as no one, so there's Matt Cardona right there. And I said that Rey Mysterio was injured, so I don't know. But
I don't get it. I don't.
but from what I was saying, the only parts I like was that Logan Paul but I feel like CM Punk and Kofi did it better. But like that was a great spot. I like Cody Rhodes' everything that Cody Rhodes did on the pay-per-view was really good. Him and Walter was very good. That could lead to an excellent singles match. Yeah. That was a good first match tonight. Moxley and Hangman.
Yeah, that was.
So Moxley's won 2, and Hangman's won 1. I think a Revolution will have a tiebreaker.
Oh, probably. But,
Last man standing match.
That'd be really cool. Also,
Or
I can also see it being a Texas Death match.
That'd be cool too. Yeah.
He'll be right back.
You're good.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to think of what else.
Like I said, I didn't watch the Royal Rumble. I should have, but I guess I don't know.
No,
I guess I'm
it
just
wasn't
so.
that great.
I guess it's. That's new. That's why, I didn't want. That's why I've told my fiance because she's like, well, oh my gosh, Chelsea Green, because she's a huge Chelsea Green mark. She's obsessed with Chelsea Green, and one thing and she is like, let's watch the review. I'm like, okay, just giving you a heads up. Like, it's going to be a lot different than AEW, and when it comes it's a different type of product. So for me, like I said, I got burnt out on it. I told her flat out, I got burnt out on it. And it's going to be hard to see some of your favorites get beat and beat and beat and buried and just dumb stuff constantly. And that I kind of gave her that warning. I'm like, Chelsea Green only lasting 10 seconds. Yeah, it's a record, but be very but who knows what could happen, and they don't have the best track record when it comes to independent stars. Even though Chelsea, Chelsea's spent a good time in the NXT developmental system, but they're not the biggest fan of independent stars. Looking at what they've done with Gargano and Cross, and it's just sad.
I mean, sometimes they can hit though. Like Daniel Bryan was an indie star before he came to WWE, but it's so inconsistent.
Yeah,
it just makes it hard to have any faith in them.
Because look at that. Because Styles has been booked right, for the most part. He's at least been consistent. Balor took him how many years after his injury to finally get some kind of story and push.
Even then, he's still feuding with Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't this Edge's third return in 4 years? Because 2020, he returned.
2020.
Was it 2021 or 2022 that he also returned?
Going to do. I think it was 2022 when he was going to do the whole. Because he was going to be part of Judgment Day, and then something happened, got hurt, or they had the whole weird turn that was just out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then he returned here. So.
Well, yeah.
Oh, and we're back from commercials.
Oh, I want to see this match.
I really want to see Billy Starks versus Jamie Hayter.
Can we? Please?
I hope so.
Tony,
I hope they sign Billy because Billy is phenomenal
Mhm.
and so young. That's so much room to grow.
Next week on Dynamite, you and I in an eliminator match. What do you say?
Eliminator match? What?
I would say absolutely. I'd love you love a challenge. Next week,
What? Oh my! They're talking Britt
Oh,
Baker.
wow, what the frick? What is going on, dude?
Gotta love that invisible camera.
I know.
Wrestling.
Britt
That's why I
Baker's
love
getting
it.
jumped.
And when people can play. What? She's now babyface, isn't she?
Double turn where the
Probably.
original. Okay.
So here
Yeah,
comes the
I think
acclaim.
they are going with AEW originals versus outside stars. And
What's
I'm
happened?
so excited for that.
What's happened? How's it
Britt
going?
Baker just got attacked by Tony Storm and Saraya. I think it's going to be Saraya, Tony Storm, Ember Moon. I'm betting. Maybe Serena Deeb. I don't know.
I think on the former WWE side, Saraya, Tony.
Oh, they went there with Tom Brady.
I think if they're gonna go that route, Ruby Soho is gonna have to be on their side. I don't know who else they'd get. On the roster. Is if they did Saraya, Tony Storm, Athena, Ruby, and a one-off appearance by Sasha Banks.
You
being
think
the
Ruby's
fifth.
going to be heel?
Mercedes mode.
I don't know who else they got that's former WWE.
I think Ruby stays face just to be like, so it's not
Yeah.
100%. Because like
I would
she's
say,
bled
yeah.
alongside of Willow, you know, like that's a bond that's deeper than I'm come from WWE land.
Because I don't
Also,
know who they
Acclaim mentioning
have.
Tom Brady.
You also have to remember Ruby Soho like debuted the first pay-per-view back with a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she kind of has already paid her due in AEW that she can kind of stick with the AEW originals.
And
Well,
that
she's
pop
also
she got
like
was
the
a
runaway.
huge one too.
I still don't know who they have on the roster that could fill that fourth and fifth spot. They don't.
Wait, you
For
said for the
WWE or for
WWE, Tony
AEW?
Storm, Saraya. Who else did you say?
Tony, Saraya, Athena, Saraya, Tony Storm, Athena, Ruby Soho, and that fifth person being Mercedes.
I think you could
Why are
could
these
probably
job
fit
boards
in.
getting attention?
What these guys
You
are
could
doing.
probably get oh, I'm blanking. I'm totally blank. Serena Deeb.
Yes.
I can't
know
believe
she
She
that.
was
Serena Deeb do
for a
something.
brief time.
I can't believe that happened.
Or you could even put in. Oh my gosh. Or you could even put in Mercedes.
Leg drop. Oh,
Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah, because she was in NXT, and I'm sure she doesn't want to remember that.
That retribution.
But I mean, that still counts. And she could be in that group and just say she hated it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. This has been fun. Like I don't get like this is just a weird brief match. Like they
Yeah.
gave the Dominant a
just
little
a
too much time to
squash.
start.
They're
It's-
probably
yeah.
they're
Those
probably
two
setting
guys.
up more for the Acclaimed versus Ass Boys.
Yeah.
Yep. And here they come.
I wonder if Billy Gunn eventually sides with his kids. But I think the people beating the Acclaimed are probably Top Flight.
Yeah, I'd love to see Top Flight.
I think Billy Gunn's going to turn on the Acclaim.
I think so too.
Even though they keep doing this back and forth stuff with a lot of people. I wish they just keep someone face or heel and just. There's a lot of
Wait,
back and
has the
forth.
Guns theme always been this hard? That's pretty cool. I like that it starts out with like the almost
Yeah.
like a Western note.
Oh, Mick Foley's in the front row.
Oh my gosh, it's Mick Foley.
It's
Mick Foley can be here
Foley's
in
baby,
person.
Mama's baby boy.
Mama's baby boy is coming home.
Do it on Rampage. A special guest referee, Billy Gunn.
Revolution.
Listen. Fun time.
It's funny you guys never asked the fans about FTR. Well, asking who deserves a tag shot. No.
Yeah. Yes. Agree. Thank you. Thank you, Bowens.
Billy Gunn's talking and the whole crowd can got a mic.
I really like how the Acclaim.
Yeah, where's this mic
like
coming from?
And he can still he has no
Ring
mic.
height.
He has no mic and we can still hear him. Billy Gunn has two separate kids from two different parents. Like two different wives, and he's having the
And now adopted sons.
he's having the
Oh.
Oh, snap.
Snap
Oh.
indeed, Adam. Snap.
that's deep.
Are you gaslighting him, Austin?
Oh.
Oh, damn. He took it there.
Oh. It's about his son's about to get an ass whooping. He thinks
Oh, you done messed up. You done messed up,
Right.
Aaron.
Why'd you throw the mic?
Oh, they cut his mic. The emotion.
No, his mic died.
So they are getting one next week.
I guess we'll see next week on Dynamite.
Huh.
Title shot.
Oh.
There's a little perplexed by that.
That was good.
Great segment.
I think Adam was right. I think the Guns are actually going to be your next tag team champions at some point this year.
Yeah.
I think they'll be tag team champs eventually. They're very good. They have it's almost like a Midnight Express level of they come into the ring, they can bump, stuff like that, where they can just feed babyface offense so well.
I think whenever Mark Quinn gets cleared, they should use him more as a tag team. I feel like once the Acclaim got signed, they kind of pushed the Private Party back a lot.
Oh yeah, same with Top Flight. Top Flight is just younger.
No, I think
it's possible to argue that they're better.
Private Party, they've been there. Like their first major win was against the Young Bucks.
And they won in that tournament.
They I feel like they should with the. I don't really have many active tag teams right now. Mark Quinn's injured. FTR's out. But you still got the Dark Order, kind of. Got three. Santana's out with an injury. Jack Evans is no longer in AEW. So, and Butcher and Blade's still available. So, I like to see Butcher and Blade more on TV.
It's to catch the time.
This is gonna be great.
Yeah, this is. I think tonight might be. Tonight will be the fate of Brian Cage. I think if he loses, he's leaving. But if he stays, it's just.
I don't know if he's leaving. He's still a 6-man champ. He'd probably stay for Ring of Honor.
Well, I heard WWE's interested. I don't know if they go anywhere, but
They definitely would make him change whatever he's taken.
well, I don't think he. Well, his Lucha Underground stuff, he was a lot more bigger, and now he's kind of slimmed it down. So
Oh, he is still he's
not as
him and
big
Billy
as
Gunn.
he's not as big as he once was.
No, he's not, but he's still doing something. If it's all natural muscle, I'm so impressed. Actually,
I know his interview with Chris Van Vliet. He said that it took him 10 years to get to get so built where he's at today. So I don't know.
He's so
Yeah,
muscular.
I don't see Cage winning this one.
Yeah, sadly, I don't either.
I mean, I could see him leaving because just all of a sudden you decide to use me with my contracts.
I mean, if he gets used more in WWE, then that's just a W for him moving.
I think he would because guys like I think him and Braun Breaker would put on a good match.
Gunter would be cool too.
Yeah, him and yeah.
I guess it all just depends on what happens. Like, and who knows? Like, there's only speculations online. Hopefully, because what'll happen? Like, will he just stay contracted or do an extension until March and then drop the trios titles? Will he randomly drop them on Dynamite or Rampage or Dark?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
if he's,
It's one of those things that.
I mean, he's already advertised for Super Card of Honor, but that doesn't really mean anything because anything could happen. I don't want Brian Cage to leave, but I could see why he would want to leave. He wasn't used for so much time, a lot of time, like a long time, and all of a sudden, now when his contract's fixing to be expired, I don't know.
If he does leave, who do you think replaces him in the embassy?
I don't think no one will. I think it'll. I think
They had Gresham. They had. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know who they get. I would say Lance Archer, but he's
a good shout.
remember his New Japan. I know there's a shooter, but he went off on. He went off on everybody on that.
He's building up to something. I think there's something coming up with him. I think he's just building that buzz online.
He just posted a video of him on Twitter jumping into a pool that was in freezing weather. So
yeah, that's how bad it is down here in Texas because I live like an hour from him.
Oh
and,
yeah,
Texas.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it was so cold today walking to class. It was like 14.
And that's why I don't miss Chicago.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like I think 40 tomorrow is what one of my teachers said.
I believe.
Yep, high 40 tomorrow. That's crazy. That Blue Thunder bomb by Takeshita is just so beautiful. Apparently, Takeshita versus Angelico is really good on Dark recently.
Yeah, I seen that last night. It was a really good match.
I like Angelico. I can see him challenging for the pure title.
I don't know why. Like they have him on Spanish commentary, but he should be used a lot more. He's been with AEW since day one, and I never really feel like him and Jack Evans never got the chance to really show who they are in AEW. But they never got the chance. I don't feel like.
Well, I remember them both saying that it's just because they don't really pitch storylines; they kind of just do what they're given. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, you got to think of something. I think I don't really know where you go with him because there's just so much talent in AEW. You can't give him Danielson's spot. You can't give him Darby's
That's the
spot.
problem. That's the problem with a lot of hirings. Well, like when you sign that many people, that's what you have to expect. You can't really use anyone really because you have to. That's kind of what Frankie Kazarian started when he said that he hopes people are not too scared to leave if they feel like that. Like they don't care about the money; they care about being used. They care about wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
and it's like leaving the territory. That's exactly how wrestling used to work. Whereas if you were getting stale in one place or you weren't being used the best, you would just go to the next territory. That's how the landscape should be.
I think Frankie Kazarian's fixing to start that. I look for a lot more. I think this year we'll see a lot more people, just flat out leave.
Yep. I mean, you'll probably see people of the caliber of like Brian Cage and Angelico leaving, but you have so much talent, you're not really in trouble as AEW. You have young stars, Kanosa Takeshita, Darby. You've got MJF. You've got young people. You've got veteran presence. You've got Mox. You got Kenny. You're not in trouble at all. It's a business,
Well,
And I totally understand putting on Omega over someone like Angelico, even though I do love Angelico and I love his submission style wrestling.
they just a lot of guys they never gave the opportunity. They never, especially with Lance Archer, they never gave. Besides his stuff with Cody, after that they didn't do anything with him.
I'll agree with that. Like Lance could have been used better.
But I do think that AEW doesn't know how to book big men. Like I haven't seen one like Lance Archer type, Brian Cage.
Miro's title reign was phenomenal.
Well, I'm talking about big
He was
men.
a
Like
big man.
well, not compared to Archer or.
Well, he's not tall, but he's big. Like I wouldn't like Brian Cage is a big man, but he's not tall.
I don't know.
He is big.
Besides Miro, I don't see anyone that they've really, what they.
Brody King. I think Brody King is used phenomenally.
I feel they choose more to go with guys like Darby rather than other sizes.
Well, I mean, wrestling isn't a big man sport anymore. Also, Keith Lee is being booked fine, but it's not just a big man sport anymore. It's not. This ain't no Vince McMahon. It's an alternate. It's an alternative to WWE. It's not. It's just something that you don't need to be. You don't need to take over the business. You just need to have something that's different. If I wanted like big beefy boys wrestling, I'd probably watch. I watched WWE for your what's his name, Braun Strowman. But I love Darby Allin.
I think AEW is more focused on cruiserweights.
Yeah.
Than anything. It's not a variety of stuff. I don't feel like when like day one AEW that had a lot of variety, but I feel like they've went away with their day one stuff that really got them. But I feel like if it wasn't for the pandemic, they would have been a lot of guys wouldn't. I feel like that they would have been higher up, business wise and a lot of things if it wasn't for the pandemic.
I think they're doing fine right now because I could turn on AEW and I can get a New Japan based strong style match. I can get like a Joshi style match. I can get a lucha match. I can get a cruiserweight match. I can get a technical classic. There's so much I can get. I can get if I wanted to turn on the TV. Someday they could do Keith Lee versus Powerhouse Hobbs. They do a lot of stuff. It's just a matter of like realizing this is what they're doing. I don't know. It's kind of. I guess it relates back to what Tony Deppen said, but you just got to enjoy it, and that's what I've been. Ever since I started doing that, I've been enjoying wrestling as a whole way more. Also, this match is a banger right now.
Yeah.
This one's good. I'm adding it to my wrestling ratings list.
Five.
Wow, so many kickouts in this match.
I'm stuffing my face right now while I'm watching this.
Man, now I'm hungry. Oh, I have no snacks. Oh, I have granola. Perfect.
I'm eating a Nutty Buddy.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
These are so good.
They're so good. Those are one of the best, like, just snacks. Watching Brian Cage do the F5, it just makes me realize no one has a prettier F5 than Brock Lesnar, in my opinion.
Oh, wow. Brainbuster from the top rope.
Wow. I'm so glad they don't cut away right there. I was just watching on Dark during the Angelico versus Takeshita match. Takeshita did a reverse brainbuster, and they cut away right as the impact happened. I'm like, oh my goodness. Wow, what a match, too. That was amazing.
Who won the match?
Takeshita won.
Takeshita.
Yeah, that's it.
That's my boy.
Brian Cage isn't staying.
I don't know. He might. I think, especially if
That,
he is,
that was
is
kind
given
of the turning point. He's lost 3 matches. He's close to his contract expiring. Like he can just drop the belt on Dark or something if he wanted to. He doesn't have to.
well, obviously he doesn't have to. That's the beauty of being an independent contractor. But like, I think if he's on Ring of Honor, him and the Embassy could be one of the bigger factions. I think he has a guaranteed spot there. Whereas in WWE, I don't know if your spot is guaranteed. The problem is just waiting until Ring of Honor starts booting up.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's really no. Yeah, Tony Khan said in January we'd have an announcement of ROH, and we didn't. Yeah, we didn't get an announcement. I just not realizing that.
Well, I thought it was that I thought there was an announcement that it would come out in early 2023 or early in the first quarter.
Yeah, he said in January is supposed to be an announcement of what day, what time. But I can get not staying for that. But I feel like he'd get put on NXT, and guys like Braun Breaker is kind of his size. I feel like he'd work well with someone like Braun Breaker or someone like that.
Dame Magic cracks me up.
You don't call the shots around here. The Jericho Appreciation Society does. So, if you get to go see it,
I'm curious what they're doing with Garcia.
I think they're going to make him versus Guevara feud.
Because now, they've switched his character so much. I don't know where they're going with that. Because
he's not jealous of Sammy, but Sammy's like kind of patronizing him.
But
even though
the doubling, like first he was heel, then he turned on Jericho kind of, then he turned on Danielson, and if he turns on him again,
Danielson and Thatcher up next. Nice.
Puts on if Chris Statlander comes back tonight.
That would be cool.
I heard something. Well, I went to a one of my friends went to a Comic Con and Chris Statlander was there and he said that she was not looking too good.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, she no, I don't want to tell you know her personal stuff, but she was well, she wasn't walking, that's for sure. Which not many people, you know, she tore one ACL, then she tore the other one. The first one was hard enough, but having to rego all the whole thing again is painful, probably. Physically and mentally. I hope she gets to come back at some point this year. Because it'd be really tough to. I don't want to see it happen, but her not to wrestle again. That'd be pretty bad.
Agreed. Yeah, I'd like to see her back in the ring. So
Yeah, a lot of wrestlers, it's more mentally than physically to a lot of them. Like they want to be in the ring so bad.
When you start with better ingredients, better pizza, you also get better taquitos, better cheese sticks, better yummy this, and better tasty that. Get any two or more for just $6.99 each. That's Papa John's.
I received this necklace as a gift from a man who was just like a father to me. He had 2 sons and no daughters, and I had no father. I never thought I would have anyone to walk me down the aisle. This is the moment that binds me to my husband. I love this so much because that was the first time a father chose me as a daughter.
Express your extraordinary love. Sharon, love brilliantly.
Friday nights just got hotter with Friday Night Lives on CBS. It's a night for the culture, right? About the culture. This is how
These The Rock. That's wild. Rock on AEW confirmed in I think it was a.
hey, look.
News.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, top line. Look, I'm watching you guys get after this.
Oh, Kenny Omega fixes visa issues.
Well, how about next week? You bring your friend AR Fox. We'll put yourselves to the line, and you guys can shoot your shot. You shoot that shot, you guys not missing the elite. Never miss. If you really.
This reminds me of Viking Raiders and Street Profits a little bit.
I wonder how long that shot took to film.
Yeah, no.
Our employees don't have that luxury. We make them work every single weekend. I want to keep that streak going. So how about this? The 3 of you against me, Matt, and City. This Friday, well, what about an NFT? We've already twisted it. Okay, this is about a match. You guys got it. This Friday on Rampage, whatever the heck you guys call yourselves.
All right, why are they talking about NFTs? Hold up, what's going on?
I don't know what's going on.
Hold up, what happened?
I don't know what's going on. This bit is over.
I
Why are we
know
in a high school gym? Oh, it's a university gym. Never mind.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes was talking about that here recently, NFTs. The Royal Rumble post media scrum thing. I think someone asked him an AEW question yet. Like there's I don't know, like something in place where you can't talk about it or something. I wish MJF was doing more in AEW.
Who'd you say? Sorry.
MJF. I wish he was doing more.
Well, I
But
mean, he's
his type of character, he doesn't
Um,
have to. He's the type of wrestler that kind of like Roman Reigns. When he wrestles, it's something big when he wrestles. He doesn't wrestle every week, uh, and his appearance means something when he's doing something.
yeah, I think MJF. He needs to have a long, overarching story. And right now he doesn't have that. That's something that Roman's title reign has done very well
I
because it
think
has had that story going with Jey Uso for a while. This Sammy story has also been going on top of that. There's a lot of layers to it. It's probably one of the best wrestling stories in the past few years. I don't know if it's on par, or I think it's like I would put it equal with Omega versus Hangman, in my opinion.
I think before, well, it it basically happened twice. I think Punk was going to be MJF's. Well, no, MJF was going to take the title off of Punk, and they was going to have that feud. You know, to me, that's the best feud that they've had in AEW, where they can feud and not really feud against each other. Uh, I don't feel like they've had another story like that. You know, like on the show today, I can't really pinpoint out one story that really stands out in front of the whole entire show. Besides, well, the main one is supposed to be Danielson and MJF, but
Yeah, I agree with that. It's been a while since we've had a longer overarching story. My personal opinion, I really, really enjoy the Omega versus Hangman story because it happened in the background as opposed to it being like explicitly told to us. And those are the kinds of stories I love. Right now, one of my favorite stories going on is Osprey versus Omega. Osprey, who had the IWGP US title, who had worked so hard for it in a foreign land, who had grinded through nights where cheering was not allowed, and he spent so much hard work trying like earning that. And then Kenny Omega, who he has always been compared to, comes in and seals it all in one night, and then he's cheered for it. That's an amazing story for me, and it's going to be even better when Osprey eventually beats Omega. Another great one is the Golden Lover story. That story actually spanned like has is still it's still going on and has spanned years since like both like the early days of both men's career. That is, in my opinion, the best wrestling story. Also, did y'all know that Timothy Thatcher is not British? I thought he was British, but he's not.
oh yeah, that's right. Lane, you did post these, Lane, right? You did post these, right? I'm assuming that means yes.
You know,
Lane, you're
we can't hear you. I don't know if you're muted or not, but we can't hear you.
But I think
he turned his mic off, I think.
Oh yeah, sorry. I always forgot I have a hand control right here to mute it. I must have bumped it. No, yeah, so it was me. I did post that in the comment section. I'm just trying to see if we can get kind of like good on for conversation on the Royal Rumble. You're good.
I was just making sure just to make sure no one
there is a troll and it's
hacked
me.
into my account.
It's me all along,
hacked into my account. Yeah, because I know someone posted our our same account and commented as us one time.
Yeah, it was me all along, Connor.
It was me, Austin.
Who do you guys get winning this? Danielson's probably going to win this.
Danielson.
Yeah, Danielson.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't see Thatcher winning it. Glad he was able to come over though.
Yeah, I thought he was a coach in NXT for a while. Was it Thatcher and Oney Lorcan was a tag team, or was Danny Burch? It was one of them three that was in a tag team.
Yeah, it's a good. It's a good match. And like I said, I like the. We'll go back to our storyline conversation. You know, I think it's going to be hard for me a little bit longer to beat that whole Hangman and Kenny Omega feud, or Punk and MJF, I think that once Punk does come back, I think that'll be the longest running story you'll see in AEW. That'll be great. Or you say it should say if he comes back. But his story with I don't know, I disagree with Aiden on this one. I do think that I don't know. I like the aspect of Daniel Bryan and MJF. I think MJF once he beats Danielson in that Iron Man match, I think that's when we'll start to see kind of Aiden's point come alive. Where I think it'll be better than Roman Reigns, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I don't know if they put Jeff against. You got Wardlow, but well, they say he's injured, but I don't want to go into that. I don't know. I don't know who they got besides Wardlow.
I think you can do Darby easily. You could probably make something with Hangman if you want to have Hangman lose. That's the problem.
Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy's another one. You could even put Sammy in there because pillars.
Yeah.
I know Connor don't agree, but my boy Eddie Kingston. Yes,
Well,
sir.
they might as well do it. They might as well do it now to get it over with, Which Eddie Kingston hasn't wrestled on TV in a while.
The last time was when he turned on Ortiz.
Yeah, it was.
Who else? I think once Punk does come back, and I do think he will probably come back, I think you can tell a phenomenal story with Punk having done the same thing he had already done to MJF, leaving when he needed him most. Punk just did it again. You could have MJF be so mad, furious. He's trying to kill
think the
Punk.
only way you get Punk back is at least have him heel. I mean,
I think
you have to turn him heel in some way.
I agree with that. I think what you should do first, you could have an MJF versus Punk where they kind of blur the lines between who's heel. Where MJF, he should be the face, but he still kind of plays the heel. But it's a feud where he should be the face, and then after that, Punk goes full paranoid heel.
Yeah, I think. I'd be busy for a whole year's story between these two. They could switch roles. They could be a tag team and be the best tag team in AEW probably.
A two-man power trip with Punk and MJF. Is that?
They could,
True.
MJF lives in Long Island. Punk goes to CM Punk's house, and Triple H with the Randy Orton. I don't know if they played the other role. MJF goes to Chicago and beats up CM Punk in his own backyard, where he has wrestling right now. I feel they could keep that going for a whole year, and they keep it interesting. But I feel like AEW's best storytellers. I feel like Cody was, looking back on a lot of his stuff, he had a lot of. What was his last feud with Sammy?
Yeah, it was. That's what that cutter.
I liked his story with Malachi.
I don't like the stuff I liked the first two with Malachi, and then the third one happened, and then he won, and Brandy sat across the ring cross-legged from him, and I was like, you could have saved that spot for CM Punk or something to be the first to do it.
Yeah, I think storyteller wrestlers. I feel like MJF's the main one. What's left in AEW.
I agree with that in terms of in-ring storytelling. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, story.
Yeah, easily.
He's really the last one. Well, Danielson probably second.
Punk is also up there, but I also agree with Danielson. Have you seen Danielson versus Brock Lesnar? That match, phenomenal in-ring storytelling. That's one of the few WWE matches I have at a 10 out of 10.
Well, people available in AEW, MJF, Cody's not there, and CM Punk.
Okay, just people available in AEW. Then yeah, it is probably second Danielson. But Cody's match with Dustin at Double or Nothing 2019.
Still one of the best matches.
Oh, easily. That match was amazing.
It is in my top 3 of my favorite wrestling matches of all time.
That's a totally fair take. That's definitely that's a great take. I think it's in my top 3 AEW matches of all time.
I would say it's probably. It is up there with FTR and the Bucks for me. Like I think FTR and the Bucks is still like
From
I've gone
Full
back
Gear
and
or
watched
from
them a few
Dynamite?
times from Full Gear.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that one stuck out to me still. And then Cody versus Dustin, I would say is probably number 2, at least at this moment. Like I said, I've kind of gone back and forth on my top 3 matches of all time, and 2 of them are from AEW. I'll be a little bit biased on that one. 2 of them are from AEW, which is Dustin and Cody, and then FTR and the Bucks. But my number 3, I would have to go with since we're talking about this, my third favorite match. I still will have to go with this. Is gonna be a little bit more of an older match, but Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels in their Iron Man match.
I don't know if you guys can
That
tell, but do I
one.
look do I look red a lot?
You look normal to me. You okay, bro?
You okay?
Nah, I just got a pounding headache. I took some medicine. I tried drinking water.
I think for my top 3 matches, for number 3, I think I have Holy Demon Army versus Misawa and Kobashi. That's a
I
phenomenal
haven't seen that
match.
one. Send me.
It's
is it
very
on
good.
YouTube?
It's yeah, it's on YouTube. There's this, I think it's called Classics Puro. If you want, I could just send you the link to their channel. They
Yeah,
have
send
just
it.
a ton of old Puro. Number 2 for me is it's a dark horse candidate. Roddy Piper versus Bret Hart from Mania 8.
Ah, dude,
I
that's a
love
good
that.
one
Just
too.
when he's holding the ring bell above Hart, and then he looks at the crowd, and they're all like saying no, and he puts it down. And then number 1 is a tie, and it's only a tie for the meantime because I don't know if I just have recency bias.
Yeah.
But Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom 17, and then also the Revival versus DIY in NXT
Yes.
Takeover Toronto.
Well, I think, like I said, especially with that match, just the Will Ospreay's promo that he cut on Kenny about about his friends dying, like that was just
It's
kind of
just
blurring the lines a
real.
little bit.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's so real, and just also the
Yeah.
match is just amazing. I don't know if any of
And
y'all
it
have
kind of
seen it.
proves that
Has
Ospreay is
anyone?
not just a spot monkey.
Oh yeah, he
can
has
tell a
great
great story.
storytelling.
Yes.
Have y'all
So-
seen Omega versus Ospreay?
I've watched clips of
I've
it.
seen the highlights of it on what was it, Access TV?
Oh yeah, I forgot they're showing NJPW now.
Yeah, they I wouldn't show the full shows like they used to, but I believe like they got off of Access TV at one time.
Oh, who came out of nowhere to save? Oh, it's Takeshita. He's wearing a Bullet Club hoodie.
Wait, what?
Is it a Bullet Club hoodie?
That's okay.
Cool. I didn't
No,
see that coming.
maybe it's just a Puma hoodie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, never mind. Because it looks like the Bullet Club. Like I have a exact Bullet Club hoodie that has the stripes like that on there. That should work.
I thought
should
that
wear
was
Bullet
Bullet
Club
Club
tonight.
too.
I was like,
I didn't
no
bring my
way.
Bullet Club. I should have brought it with me. I think right now, hold up.
Yeah, that's been kind of one thing
Oh.
I've been kind of disappointed with. And I wish with the Forbidden Door, that was my only little thing I did not like about it. I wish they had more Bullet Club involvement and God. I wanted more. I wanted that storyline to continue on to the next year, or that's what I'm hoping this year. And I kind of want to do. I think Aiden will have to. Let's partner. Let's you or ask me, you and Connor can partner with this one. But let's book the next Forbidden Door because I would love to see God costing the Bucks something big in the Elite.
The problem is that God are kind of faces now, so, and I feel like the Bucks should probably be faces.
I don't know. I guess it's one of those things that it just depends on where they would have the match.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I think more like the mainstream fans would probably go for the Bucks. But the thing is, AEW's main audience would probably, for that one match, go for God.
I really
Yeah.
don't feel like I don't think AEW has a main AEW's mainstream is like New Japan's mainstream. It's kind of the same.
Maybe.
It's the same fan base, yeah.
I don't feel like they have a mainstream.
Yeah. But there's still
Man,
casual fans that do watch and come over that don't know who some of these New Japan talent are.
I for one don't. I know a few like Osprey, Okada, Jay White. And that's pretty much it. You know, I don't. Now I know someone like no, I know past people like AJ Styles, Gallows Anderson, Lance Archer. There's a lot of people, but
Yeah.
you know, I would say I'm a casual AEW fan.
Oh, you've
I mean, I don't watch New Japan on a regular basis, but I know,
Yeah.
know.
Whoa, Sami Zayn got old and is now security for AEW.
dang. And a haircut. He looks nice. He looks
Yeah.
fresh.
Why do I keep doing these eliminator matches? No one wins them.
Well, I mean, it just,
Oh, there
for
you go,
real, they should
Connor.
just be doing. They should just be doing.
Let's do a title match.
Yeah.
Because Tony Khan booked it.
He didn't agree with that.
Yeah, like they had what was it? Jamie Hayter and Ema Sakura was a eliminator match. No one wins it. Like, has anyone won one of those type matches in AEW? I don't think anyone's
I
won
don't
one.
know.
So I just put the title on the line. Even though they're not going to win it, maybe not win, but you know.
Oh God.
Do you guys
Worst
see?
table ever.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this one. I'm ready for Dustin and Swerve.
Did you guys hear what Swerve said? Was it last Wednesday or Friday? But yeah, it was Friday about Cody Rhodes.
Genius.
And then he said it again on Sunday when he won the Royal Rumble. Something along that on Twitter. Mike Morris. I don't know. I don't think he's signed.
Maybe a paid by match deal. Uh-oh. I think it'll be like a paid by appearance deal, like Trent Seven was.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Jade Cargill match. Let's browse Twitter. I'm sorry, that's really disrespectful of me. I don't mean to disrespect Jade like that. Evil.
No.
What happened?
You just don't like the booking of it.
What happened? What?
Oh, I said Jade Cargill match, time to browse Twitter.
You don't want to get canceled, Aiden. They'll cancel us from going against Jade.
People are too hard on Jade, though. She is still learning, and yeah, maybe it was too early to give her a belt, but she is still making a good opportunity with it. She is still like doing her best right now with it.
Yeah.
And she has drastically improved from where she was against Brandy.
I think it's just hard because a lot of the stories they've told with the TBS championship haven't been, it hasn't made the belt prestige. It doesn't give her that. Yeah, she's 15-0, but most of the talent really, she's only really three notable names that she's defeated was Soho, Rose, and Athena. Those are really the only three that are credible that she's,
She also beat Thunder Rosa in the tournament.
Okay, that's true. I forgot about Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, I think I know.
Anna Jay twice.
Yeah, Jade's.
Yeah, that's right, Jay.
I feel like a lot of people know AEW cannot take criticism. And the only one I've seen so far is Nakeshita, really. He's the only one that, well, on social media, is that can accept criticism. I remember when it was the Jade Cargill and Marina Shafir, they couldn't take it. That people were not looking forward to that match. But it's really double standard, like how everyone will come to the help of Marina Shafir, but when Sammy gets attacked or someone else, they won't. I don't know. I feel like if you cannot take criticism, I don't think you should. As a wrestler, I wouldn't. I always ignore what you see on social media, because being a wrestler, you will get criticized every day. It's a lifestyle now. It's not. Being a wrestler is a lifestyle in some sense, especially when you're signed to like a major promotion.
But still, I do think that it is just mentally draining to, you open up Twitter and you see people being like, oh, Jade match, time to browse Twitter, like I just said, because I'm a hypocrite. But,
Oh, Roosh versus Danielson.
Every single time, it must be exhausting. It must be just mentally draining.
Well, I feel like Tony's kind of led this on by putting people that people don't want to see on TV. Like, I don't know anyone who wants to see Marina Shafir on TV. No, she's not TV ready. She's not. And I don't really agree with Jim Cornette on a lot of things, but this one thing. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. No, keep going. We're good. I'm listening to you.
Am I blurred up or anything?
No, you're fine.
For some reason, it's. But Jim Cornette said, she was in WWE at the Performance Center. She couldn't get it there. She's married to Roderick Strong, one of the best persons you can get trained by. It didn't work there. It's not working. I don't know. She's had all the golden opportunities. It just hasn't paid off. There's only so much coaching you can do. Which, I don't know who's coaching her, but, I'm pretty sure in AEW, you got Danielson. I'm pretty sure William Regal, when he was there, it was him and Danielson. Yeah, they were there at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and training. There's a lot of people you can get advice from in AEW. Sure.
I'm just trying not to get burnt out with wrestling.
MJF's paying everyone off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just excited to see Roosh back on TV. I love Roosh.
Preston, he looks like a. Well, I'm not gonna say it. You guys remember?
No, you're good. My fiance's not watching. She won't slap you this week.
Well, you remember the big? Did you? You guys know who the big boss man is?
Big boss man.
The big boss man.
He wore that suit. It was a
security guard.
Well, he was. Well, originally he just wore like the policeman stuff, but one time he wore the what he's wearing.
So, do you guys think Jade's gonna win tonight?
Oh, yeah. Easily. Yeah. I think it'll be a good match. These two have really good chemistry.
I really would love to see an upset. I actually think Red Velvet's gonna win it tonight. I think it's gonna be.
I don't think Red Velvet would be the one to dethrone Jade.
Yeah, there ain't no money in Red Velvet being the one to dethrone Jade.
I'm just saying, who's ever going to dethrone Jade it's going to happen at Revolution, and you might get someone tonight just to step up and I'm next. I don't know.
I don't know who they have that can take the I don't know.
Right
who they
now,
have.
really, you could easily plug
Chris
in the bunny. You
Statlander.
could plug in Chris Statlander
telling
when she
you-
gets back.
Either
Well-
Statlander. I mean, even at this point, you might even
Deeps.
Serena Deeb.
I feel like
Mhm.
I
if,
haven't seen Serena Deeb in a while.
if they're gonna put it on Statlander, they're gonna be waiting a while.
Yeah, I
She don't-
can't believe that. If your plan is Statlander, and then she's sidelined with an injury that can take like 9 months to a year, it's so
Yeah.
crazy to me to be like, yeah, I'm gonna wait that out. Like, huh? Like what?
That feels
Yeah.
like
It's
That-
so insane.
that feels like what they're doing. But they're
Mhm.
waiting.
And
until-
I think that's a bad choice.
which,
I think
especially in ACL tear, like, it's nothing that you can come back from like really quickly. And I couldn't imagine like,
Unless you're Seth
this is-
freaking Rollins.
they really
Right.
should have
he
given
came
it
back in
to
5 months.
Athena. I think
Yeah, I wish their match at All Out would have been better.
they gave it
Uh,
no time.
It was 5 minutes. I felt like that could have been a very good match. They just didn't give it the time it needed, really.
Uh-oh, Jade's wig's messed up. Baseball slides.
Where has Serenity been at? Speaking of Serenity, I haven't seen her in a while.
Okay.
That's what and I mean,
Ah.
if not Statlander, then Serena Deeb can be a good opponent for Jade.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Next
Like,
is
the other
Dynamite.
thing. Yeah.
Sorry, you go.
Oh no, you're good. I cut out there. I didn't realize you were talking. No, I was gonna say like kind of like going back to why I think Red Velvet could win this match is like you could give it to somebody. Anybody who beats Jade is going to be
Oh,
a huge. Like I think it could be huge. And I think to be
Man,
honest with you, Red Velvet right now, she's taking a lot
Oh,
of
she was-
offense right now.
she took her chin in
So-
on that.
Duck your chin.
Ooh, that was stiff.
What?
Yeah, normally, well, you can do it in all sports, really. Like when I was training, like to avoid any like neck problems in the future, that always tuck your chin in. But a lot of wrestlers do it so quickly you don't even notice. But Randy Orton is someone that you can notice it pretty easy from. Like even in UFC, football, especially in football, I don't know. It's something when you tuck your chin and it doesn't affect your neck as bad.
Next week's Dynamite looking generational. You got Bryan Danielson versus Roosh. You got Takeshita versus MJF. You got Kenny and the Bucks versus AR Fox and Top Flight. What's going on? Tony, what are you cooking?
Something big and something to make us flip out on this podcast. So make sure you guys tune in next week for our Dynamite stream so you can see me do a backflip when Top Flight and AR Fox team up for the first time.
So they're going to get each other for the titles, right? Next,
I think so.
but what if? I know it's not going to happen. But what if Ethan Page and Matt Hardy win?
It's called having faith in your team.
Well,
Don't
like,
say it's predictable.
what-
Having faith in your
Like-
in your
well,
champion.
no, like I'm saying, what if that happens?
It ain't gonna happen. Tony's
Never
not that
know.
bad of a booker. Just saying.
I'd like to see Matt Hardy and Private Party with the trios titles, not these.
I'll be right back,
Three.
you guys.
Matt Hardy's too old, in my opinion, to be. I think he can manage Private Party while they get like tag titles, but I don't know if Matt Hardy needs a championship at this age.
Well, he's almost. His contract expires pretty soon. Well, he signed a new deal with Jeff Hardy with their deals, and then at the same time, Jeff Hardy came in last year.
Crazy that was last year.
Yeah. So I imagine they signed a 2-3 year, so 24, 25. But trios teams didn't really. I feel like Hardy Party would be a great trios team because he's not necessarily carrying the load. It's 3 people. No, in a tag team it's 2 people, but trios it's 3. So he could necessarily be a trios champion and just still manage them. But I don't think after that Sammy and Matt Hardy from what was the one where he got like knocked out and that continued the match or whatever? Was it at All Out or?
Yeah, that was at All Out 2020.
I don't feel like he's ever recovered from that, really. No,
Definitely not.
It doesn't show, but he's just been moving. You can, if you really look at it, you can tell he's never really recovered from that.
Well, he's just always had that my back is killing me walk or like my hips hurt walk. He's had that for years now. And like it's no secret he's washed, but he's allowed to keep going. I just don't think it'd be smartest to put him in like a situation where he's gonna have to be on TV all the time, exposing himself.
Well, the Elite's not on TV. Well, I know with Kenya's Visa, but there's a lot of champions who aren't on TV all the time.
Yeah, but you are on TV more as a champion, and
Jade isn't.
Like he just doesn't. He doesn't move the needle. I don't know about in terms of ratings, but in terms of I want to watch AEW for me personally, he's not a draw for me.
Well, I don't know what the only draw AEW doesn't really have many draws right now with a lot of injuries, a lot of maybe surprisingly here lately it's been Hook and Jungle Boy. They're the biggest draws.
Wow, is that the first visual pinfall on Jade?
Was, but wasn't counted.
That is crazy. That's actually a huge moment for Red Velvet.
Come on. Come on, make your
shoulders were down for 3.
tap.
Is this a submission hold?
It's supposed to be. It's going to be an armbar, I think. But
Make the champ tap out.
it's something similar. It's kind of
watch the power bomb here.
Okay.
All right. Oh, look at that strength. They look really strong. Oh, reversal. Come on, put her away. Ah. Dang it, I want to see Red Velvet do a reversal on her. It's over.
You didn't think she was going to lose. Come on.
3.
You didn't think she was going to lose. Come on.
I figured it was. I figured. I wanted hope. I had hope. But did what's her name had a wardrobe malfunction?
I didn't see anything. If she did, I didn't see it. Not that I was really looking for it, anyways.
Jade's
no, I just randomly saw it. She's in the ring.
Jade's counters, everything into Jaded are so awesome all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, some dude in the crowd just looked like Brett Lauderdale.
Okay.
That was insane.
Aww. That's so sweet. Okay, that just made things a little bit better. Aww, her. Aww. Okay, that was a sweet moment.
Yeah, see, that's why I can't dislike Jade. She like always brings out her daughter, and it's always such a nice moment.
Yeah.
Yep. Ruby Soho. Oh. Ruby's joining.
Oh, good little drop.
Yeah, Ruby, you have known them a lot longer than you've known us. So I find it weird you just now show up. But yeah, I'm good. She's great, actually.
Yeah, it is for trios titles. So.
Oh.
What if? No, you know.
Yeah.
What if? Brian Pillman Jr. is on TV. Swear Strickland. Soraya and Tony Storm's gonna be in action. Christopher Daniels. Oh, this would be interesting. Christopher Daniels versus Roosh.
Ooh.
Wow, my tweet's got 310 views on it. Nice. I'm excited for Roosh though. I'm glad he is getting used on TV.
I mean, once Andrade was taken off TV, like Roosh just
Roosh
literally
has stepped up.
Yeah, Roosh has stepped up.
Like
What is
Roosh
the
has made
Garcia?
every opportunity he's been given, and he's hit a home run with it.
The bunny's
Like-
back.
I love having the money back.
It's another eliminator match. We
So
just had
there's 2 eliminator matches next week. So winner does get a championship shot. So that makes sense. Okay.
if they win, but no one's ever won.
Yeah.
Eliminator.
Has
But
it?
they
No one's won?
well, an eliminator match to get a title shot that no one's ever, not that I recall. But Jamie just had a eliminator match. Like I feel like they should just be title matches instead of eliminator matches.
I think yes and no. Like I can agree and disagree on that one. I think
Because who wants to
you
see?
can have
Because Tony's all about rematches. Well, I don't know. It just be for the title for what it is, instead of just a eliminator match. I've just never heard of that. And a lot of stuff in AEW I've never heard of, like interims. That's never been a thing. Besides UFC.
Yeah, that's what I know it from.
Yeah. But I think with the interim stuff, like there's a lot of people that always would hate when the championship would get taken off. Get taken off of the champion when they got hurt. So I can agree and I can disagree with Tony's decision on that. I think it was just sloppy with the Cody and that first Sammy and Cody interim bullshit. And I think if it was booked right, I think it'd been fine. But it just kind of watered down a little bit the championships. I think if done right and maybe explain, hey, fortunately if they're going to be out for a couple months, that's fine. Or
He was out for 2 weeks.
I don't know.
He was out for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I think.
but it's 2 weeks. You don't need to do an interim championship. Like you just have Cody or have the talent if they're still worried about. Actually, I don't think COVID. I think it's 5 days now. But if they're out for a couple weeks, still have them part of the show. They could easily have Cody do something from his office at home, depending on how he felt, or just show tweets from Cody and statements saying, "Hey, I will be back in 2 weeks to take on Sammy Guevara," or the winner of this fatal 4-way match of the 4 wrestlers I picked. Like, there's easier ways they can be booked around it. And
I hope.
I get he's trying to be different, but I don't know.
I really hope after the women's thing that they don't do I hope they don't do the interim thing anymore.
I don't think they will.
After the response that they got with the Jamie Hayter stuff, I don't think they will.
Yeah. And it's like a little too late to kind of rub the salt in the wound of Tony Storm. Like, yeah, you've been officially recognized as a world champion, but
after she loses it. Yeah. I'm wondering when MJF's gonna be on this Practical Jokers. He filmed one. When
Nice.
when he was on hiatus. Oh my god. he filmed something with them.
Oh. I'm not a big fan of the Impractical Jokers. Like,
It's not been I haven't watched it since Joe's left, but
That's what I was saying. I haven't kept up since Joe left.
ooh, Justin Roberts again.
I want Samoa Joe to win, but I don't think he's gonna win.
Darby's gonna get hit with a lot of chairs and weapons, isn't he? Like,
Yeah.
Darby's gonna get hurt.
Time to see the king of television return. Come on, Joe.
Like I feel like sometimes Tony, he knows he made a mistake and then he goes back on what he did.
I mean, I don't think it's a mistake.
Well, it wasn't. I don't think it was a mistake.
Darby
like-
winning his hometown is a huge
no,
moment. We've gotten some banger matches out of it. And then
Plus,
now
I
Joe
think.
comes back for his title.
Plus, I think with, I mean,
Well,
Joe's already got the Ring of Honor TV championship, so it's like he's already going to go back to Ring of Honor and get AEW eyes on Ring of Honor.
well, like not just with this, like there's a lot of stuff where he's made one decision, then he goes back on it. Like he's even admitted that before that he gets talked into stuff. But I don't really know the reason why Joe needed to lose there. You know, they had a great person that bring that special back to the title with the heel. He was going on a dominant run. I don't, and it'd been more heat on Samoa Joe beating Darby in his own hometown. That'd have gave Samoa Joe even more heat as the champion.
But sometimes you just got to give like that hometown moment. I thought it was a really cool moment, and I like if it would have been so soon, like it would have like if we didn't have Darby Allin get a month reign. I think it just like shows because AEW hasn't done this before. They've never had someone lose a title and win it right back.
He's got
Well, I
no
can
jacket
see it
on
coming.
that shirt.
But
That's
with
freaking different.
I think with
Okay.
Brody,
Oh wow!
like Cody beat Brody, and
He's got thumbtacks on that.
Nice.
And yeah, and Brody beat Cody, and then Cody beat Brody. But like, I wasn't mad at Brody Lee getting a title reign. I thought it was fun. He did some good stuff. He cut really good promos. He had a good match with Dustin.
It was just very
and then
short.
he lost the title in a really good match to Cody again. There was nothing wrong with it.
I mean, I know it's someone's hometown or someone's birthday, but if you're going with story wise, I would have been Joe winning would have benefited more for his title reign because Joe's a better heel than a face. And I mean, I know it's your hometown, but like I feel like AEW would get a like who's the guy's name? Bob that's like ringside or whatever. He does like the camera. I feel like if it was his hometown, they'd give him a big moment. Which I don't know. No, not everyone needs. Oh, going this way.
God, Joe is just hitting him.
Hit the cam. Well, the cameraman's lucky.
Ooh! Oh!
Oh, damn.
Yeah, the cameraman is lucky. Good lord.
Oh yeah, they showed it right there. Yeah, he's lucky.
Oh, he busted open now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow! Did that bust Joe open?
Yeah. He's busted open pretty well.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. He went over the stairs, over the barrier.
Oh my God! That was just an insane thing right there. Yeah, man. Joe is a killer. Oh, let him just have everything as the king of television.
Yeah. Jesus, man.
I feel like they're gonna go all the way up the stairs and he's gonna throw him down the stairs.
Darby's just gonna fall all the way down the stairs.
Darby's gonna do the spot where he does a drop kick onto the concrete stairs like Joe did.
Oh gosh, that's gonna hurt like a bitch.
I can't believe Joe did that. That's so insane to me.
Joe's crazy too.
I don't want to see Joe do that though. Joe's too old to be doing that.
Yeah, Joe's out of his prime. Oh, good lord.
Jesus, Darby.
And now he's just sliding down the stairs. Bryce is like, God dang, why did I agree to do this event?
Power Slap's next.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Don't
watching
you,
that.
aren't you guys ready for a power slap stream after this?
Oh, like actually,
No.
We're just doing a triple
No.
feature tonight.
last week I said the ratings would be up just for the fact that people was talking about it. Like people was talking about it, and the ratings were up to like it was like 400 something or 300,000. No, it was 200,000 something. And they jumped up to like 600,000 just because people were bashing it. It's really stupid. I think people just slapping each other with
Yeah,
wood, like
wrestling is cooler.
it's like chalk, like white stuff on their hands. I wonder when a rock paper scissors will be a sport.
Yeah, if I wanted to watch,
It is a
people
sport. It's on
get
ESPN.
I'd watch football. Actually, I do watch football. I do like watching people get CTE, I guess, but I'm not going to watch Power Slap. Really
You don't want to
wild.
watch Power Slap. Or
Peter,
Really
what about
wild.
Extreme Tag?
top draws?
Okay, that's actually really cool. I see those online all the time. I see those clips.
AEW's top draws right now.
Mox.
It's different types. A lot of people say, a lot of people think that just matches or a draw's like business, like you're moving the needle. Here, surprisingly, here lately it's Jungle Boy and a Hook, from like the quarter.
Jungle
ratings.
Hook.
But as a whole, business wise, it's a like I said before, this is the first time a company's been able to do this. But guys like Orange Cassidy or Danhausen wouldn't have got over in WWE like they were, but in AEW they're the top merch sellers. Like they're over Chris Jericho and Moxley, and normally guys like that wouldn't be. It's just surprisingly how those kinds of guys can be, big draws. But MJF, he's in pretty a bit of a draw. Not that I would have hoped he would have been, but I know Jericho. I feel like he used to have that draw power, but every summit that I don't want to get into the ratings too much, but the first segment is the highest, and then it just goes down, down, down. Like that's been a trend here lately. When Jericho's on, the ratings go down, then they go back up. I don't know, but I don't know, Jarrett. Well, I guess right now, currently active, Adam Cole, Moxley, MJF.
Yeah, I'd have to say Darby, MJF, and Baker would be my three.
Oh, Baker's a good shout.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn, Joe's cut pretty good.
Yeah, Baker. Yeah, on the chart, the only female though that was top seller merchandise wise was Sheeta. Surprisingly, she was number 7th, I believe.
Come on, Joe.
I'm gonna beat my cat if he doesn't stop meowing at me.
Meow, meow.
Just kidding. I don't do animal cruelty. I'm sorry.
Meow, meow.
No, Rocket.
Meow's getting beat up. Meow, meow.
He will go outside and sit outside, and he won't go anywhere else. But he'll just sit outside the doggy door and just enjoy the air. But due to the snow, it's mostly ice and rain that we have on our ground outside. I am not letting the cat outside.
What's your cat's name?
Rocket. Name is Rocket.
Like Guardians
He
of
is
the
a
Galaxy
fluffy kitty.
Rocket?
He was named. Okay, so my mom named him. Me and my fiance found him at my previous. He was outside, and him and his took one of. And he's very vocal, very fluffy, to chill, and yeah, and now he go. Texas
man, what a
housing, just letting you guys know. If you move to Texas during the winter time, the housing down here they're not insulated well. So when it gets cold, your house is still cold even with the heater on.
I'm eventually
Just a
going to have a
little
cat.
advice.
I'm going to name my cat Morgana. That's the plan.
Yes, name Morgana. Yes.
That's the plan.
You will send me pictures of Morgana.
I still haven't been able to play 3 or 4.
Oh, dude, I am 40 hours in on 3. Dude, like you'll
I'm
love
so
the story.
jealous.
It's cool. Like, it's probably one of the best stories I've ever played in the game. And,
Wow, Darby just
like I
fell
said,
face first on
it's-
the outside.
Jeez, Darby, you're gonna kill yourself one of these days with all the ideas you come up with, or Joe's gonna
need
murder
to-
you. One of the two.
Joe's looking to commit murder here.
I think you know how people bring video game signs to AEW shows. I'll probably bring a Persona 5 one.
Yes, do it. I do it. I love it. I do it. Yeah. Oh shit!
I need to find my
Jesus,
next
Darby.
Oh man, he's gonna die.
Yeah. Now this is how you book a big man in wrestling.
They're like, that wasn't even a hip toss. He just threw him over. Even the announcer said, like, that not even a hip toss. He just tossed him over.
You all right, Connor?
Oh my god!
I just got pounding headache.
Jesus Christ! Dude.
Take some Advil.
Yeah, I took some medicine earlier. I've been drinking water. I ate something.
Ooh. Hope you don't have
Wow,
COVID.
Literally just dumped him over the top rope.
Jesus Christ. This is nuts.
He's just too much of a man. Pause, Tony. What are you saying?
I tried my best to like get invested into the matches.
Yeah, you seem off tonight. Hope you get some rest and come back tomorrow. Be healthy.
Oh yeah, I've been off. I've been off this entire day. I felt like in the interview I was off. Like today's just not my day.
Like I said, we can't always feel well. You know, hope you get some rest tomorrow. You know, and
It's not that I
think you'll
don't.
be okay.
It's not that I don't like doing it. It's just
No, like it's a different. You're not frustrated. Like it's a different. You have a different tone with your voice because I've been your colleague now for a while, and I know your frustrated voice. Love you, brother. But yeah,
I just got pounding headache for whatever reason.
I think, like I said, after you feel like once you get feeling better, like definitely go watch this match back. Because trust me, this is great. This is probably the best match of the night.
Well, no, like the match has been.
This is brutal.
Someone got powder.
Oh,
I mean, like
nice. That was different. What?
I mean, like this match is great.
Powdered? They are bringing it all the stops. Oh, dude, it's like Dale. Pocket sand.
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand. Pop up stunner.
Yeah,
just shout out to Joe. Like he can really sell a move. Oh, dude, this better be on his clothing tomorrow. Like I want to see a thumbtack hoodie.
Darby's trying to put it on, but
it's so bad.
It is bad.
No, Joe kicked out.
He's just like, fuck it.
I thought for sure Joe was gonna.
He couldn't get the hoodie on.
Yeah,
I bet that hurts so bad to put on.
Yeah, he was sticking himself and then trying to. What is this?
Anybody else gonna buy MJF's $50 shirt? I'm really thinking about buying it. It looks really nice.
Well, they're tearing down the ring tonight.
Oh, he like hit the back of his head on the mat after that. Joe kicked out of the coffin drop too.
What?
Oh, man, they're going all out in this match.
You're gonna rip the ring apart, dude.
Nice.
Well, at least they're getting a head start on it.
Right?
Well, they got Rampage after this, so
Rampage, baby.
Unless they did it before.
Well, I don't think so because I don't know. but
Because they can replace the
think-
canvas pretty fast. They have a pretty good
oh
ring
yeah,
crew.
I feel they practice that and they do it like in like minutes. But normally it take an hour. I think Darby's spending too much time.
Yeah,
He's
he
get-
is.
Yeah.
He's giving Joe time to recover.
Yep. That's gonna backfire on Darby, isn't it?
Probably.
Oh.
Taking the whole damn thing apart.
This almost
Thank you,
reminds me
Owen.
of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
I could be
Like
mistaken.
I
but
love that. Like
Where did Joe go? Oh, there he. Like I think the only time
Where
we've
is
seen the
Joe?
boards. Knew it. Knew it.
Well, there he
backfire.
is.
that's
he
cool.
did it. He did it too.
Darby's going,
That's not
oh, crash and burn.
Saw that coming.
But I think the only time that we've
Just
seen
no
boards
sold it, man.
that like they've tried to take the ring apart was Moxley and Omega Full Gear.
Yeah.
That's the only time that they've done that. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't put that jacket on. I don't know.
Oh,
Oh. Ow!
Oh,
Oh, gosh! Damn!
oh.
oh!
This
This is like gangs in New York kind of style fight.
yeah. Insert the
Oh, the
butterfly
thumbtack
meme here. But is this a death match?
That's what it seems like.
Is
Feels-
Samoa Joe crying?
Yeah, Joe's crying. He's like, no.
I like when Kurt Angle used to do that. He
Yeah.
shows emotions. Come on, Joe.
Oh shit! Darby's gonna
Thank you.
fail, isn't he? He's gonna land on the boards and he's gonna fail. He's gonna get hurt, isn't he?
Well, Bryce,
Nice. Yeah. Oh, he's
Uh-oh.
this is not good for
they're gonna
Darby.
break the ring in half. They're
Yeah,
gonna
they
break it
are.
in half.
Oh, this is not going to be good. Muscle
Yes.
Buster from the
Oh shit!
He just hit him right on.
Oh, right on the
Oh!
boards. It's over.
Joe
His
got
back.
mad.
Oh my gosh.
Joe hit hard and Darby.
We got a
on
new
that.
champion. Joe is the new TNT
Oh my-
champion.
I hope these boards break.
Well,
I haven't seen.
It was a
the
good match, but what was the
Oh,
point of
shoot.
having Darby win that title in the first place, other to say he had a
Yeah.
three-timer?
He should never lost it. But
I think it
that
was
was
just
a
to-
banger.
that was a good match though. That was
I think it was only just to have him win in his hometown since it's the first time I went to Seattle. That's really the only reason why I could see that.
no. Who's this?
I'm fine with that though.
Here's who I think it is.
Is Wardlow coming
Wardlow?
out?
Yep. Wardlow?
Wardlow's back. Come on, baby. Come on.
I don't want Joe to lose it that soon again.
I don't think Joe's losing.
Yep.
Here comes Wardlow.
Ooh, he looks good in that suit.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, I like the haircut too.
Yeah.
Wardlow's back.
Yeah.
No, the other wing. Come on. I don't want to see Wardlow lose
Oh.
again. I don't want to see either one of these guys because
I think we'll get what we should have got with Wardlow and Joe the first time, and I think after that, I think we'll get probably Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs.
like I want to see Joe go on a dominant TNT title reign like he should have got in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him lose it. Like he wins it, loses it real fast, wins it again, and loses it real fast again.
I don't know.
Who was that? Security guard. Damn. He was doing it right as
Right as they went to commercial.
that was
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We didn't get to see it.
Oh.
I hope Rampage opens up
Almost.
with Joe just beating up, or not Joe, with Wardlow just still beating up everyone.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
I got a lot of work to do for Rampage. Put that whole thing back up.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yep.
Which
Fun times.
that's what they're getting paid to do.
Right.
I wanna-
You earn your money this week, boys.
Like I hope like normally on this episode like they have like a YouTube exclusive and they'll post like the ending of what they couldn't show on TV on YouTube. So maybe we'll get to see because I want to see the Wardlow cut.
Right,
Him
I wanna
throwing that
see him
security guard. I want to see him
chucking
throwing that.
guards over the rope.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty much it for Dynamite tonight. From what I did get to joy of it, I gotta show I give it a good 8 out of 10. What about you guys?
I agree with that. 8 out of 10 is the perfect rating for me. All the matches were bangers, actually. Red Velvet vs. Jade was surprisingly good. And
It was probably one of her
again,
best.
Yeah, no disrespect to Jay when I say surprisingly good. It's just they both have phenomenal chemistry and have come a long way. Danielson match was great. Cage versus Takeshita was really good. And then Moxley and Hangman just was great too.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Good start, good end of the show.
Yeah, I see a lot of people.
I give it about an 8.5. Yeah, it was. Yeah, there's some good stuff. Yeah.
I was going 7.5, 8. I think that 8 was.
Yeah, I'll go with an 8.
I mean, it was a good show.
Some segments dragged, but I mean, it was a good show. The matches were good.
I've seen a lot of people. I didn't get to see much of it, but Danielson and who did he go against? Danielson and
Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah, I didn't show the comment, but this match was kind of boring.
I mean,
it was more along some of a technical match.
Yeah, it was a technical match, so not a lot of people like those.
Which in AEW they need that variety, which I think that they lack is a variety, which you need a little bit of high flying, you need a little bit of powerhouse, you need a little bit of everything. I feel like, but I didn't think it was a boring match. I'll probably go back and watch this entire show. We'll be back tomorrow for Talking Elite. What is going to be the topic tomorrow, Elaine?
Yeah, so tomorrow we are going to something a little bit differently. So Connor, Aiden, Adam, and myself, we are going to be talking about 3 of the biggest wrestling families. So of wrestling, like currently, basically the criteria for this list was you had to have at least 2 generations of superstars. So we'll be talking about the Rhodes. So that'll be one. I'll talk about the Samoa Dynasty. So like Rikishi, The Rock, the Usos. So we'll be talking
the
about
Anoa'i family.
Yep, the Anoa'i family. Yep, and then we will also be talking about the Ortons.
What about the Hart family?
So
you could also do the McMahons.
Well,
There's so many families.
Yeah, but those are the like I said, we'll narrow it down, but those are the 3 that I came up with to discuss tomorrow. And then we'll also do like a bonus round where we can discuss like the Hearts. We could discuss. We'll have, of course, like some of the up and comers like Brock and Pillman. So it's going to be a very fun show. We're going to be doing some research probably tomorrow to get ready for the show. But yeah, come on out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Share your favorite matches, and also favorite wrestlers and the families, and yeah, just come out and enjoy it. I think it's gonna be a great show.
Yeah, the Samoan Dynasty, they got probably the longest wrestling family in history.
Yeah,
it's going and going.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely check out the All Elite Zone social media links in the description below: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Spotify, and Podbean. So where you can get all of our special guest news. Also, we post on Twitter and Facebook. But yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow for Talking Elite.
And special thanks to Tony.
Yes,
for
Tony
being on tonight. So thank you, Tony.
Nice guy. Thanks for coming on last minute. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes,
Yeah, it
thank
was
you.
great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you again, Tony, for coming on and being a last minute replacement. And Lady Frost will still be coming on. Just wasn't tonight, but she's like it is going to happen. Uh,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Due to
thank you,
weather,
Tony.
unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow for Talking Elite.
Take care.
See ya.